For over 100 years, the best men's amateur teams in Canada have crisscrossed the country in their quest to hoist the Allan Cup, a trophy rich in history and steeped in tradition. Lacombe, Alberta is playing host this year as two longtime rivals battle it out for their place in hockey history. It's Allan Cup time next on TSN. Look at Lacombe, Alberta, the host of the 2019 Allan Cup, and of course the home, the recently new home of the Generals. And a look there at the Sportsplex here in Lacombe, where the Generals will walk in looking for their first Allan Cup title since moving to Lacombe, having won 3 of them during their time in Bentley, a move to Lacombe just a few years back. And while we are set here to get our eyes on the 111th Allan Cup, it's funny, but we're actually going to have a couple of firsts. For Innisfail, it's their first time here, and on the other side of things, it's the first time ever in over a century that 2 Albertan teams will be facing off for the Allan Cup. And here is a look at how both of these teams got there, starting with all of the round-robin action. And it was an interesting round-robin for Innisfail, who dropped both of their games in round-robin. It was the defending champs from Stony Creek who went 2-0 in Division 1. Lacombe dropped their first game, but ended up winning their second game to have a bye into the semifinal. As for the playoffs, the quarterfinals, that is where we saw Innisfail get on track with a 6-3 win in the quarterfinals, and then knocking off the defending champions as well to set up this final here tonight against Lacombe. Now joined by our analyst, Ken Simpson. And Ken, when we got here tonight, about an hour and 45 minutes before puck drop, people were already in their seats. The atmosphere is going to be sensational.
It really will. It's going to be electric. You got to remember, only about 30 minutes down the highway are these two cities located, and it is going to be a fabulous atmosphere. The 12th game these two teams have played this year.
Let's take a look at a couple of players to watch tonight, starting with the Generals and forward Kyle Stroh.
Well, Kyle Stroh's had a very, very good tournament. 3 goals in 3 games. He picked up the opener in the semifinal against Rosetown. He's got good size. He's got good speed. He's a big body to handle going to the front of the net. On the backhand, the player to watch for Lacombe is Evan Oberg. He makes a terrific first pass. He's got tremendous voice. After 2 years at Minnesota Duluth, he signed with the Vancouver Canucks, enjoyed a very stellar AHL career, including 7 NHL games.
Let's hear from Generals head coach Sean Robertson.
It's been unbelievable. It's what we set out for, to be here tonight. It's what we had in the back of our minds all along. It's what we strive for every year, and it's what we challenge ourselves with to get here. And so to be here is sort of half a step.
Now for the Generals, they've been here 5 consecutive times. For Innisfail, they have not been here. They're playing in Lacombe, the home of the Generals. What's it going to be like for them in their first time in the Allan Cup final?
Well, definitely there's going to be a lot of excitement, no doubt about it. They've worked hard all season to get here, and nice that they've got a calming influence in Brian Sutter on the bench for them.
Yeah, we'll hear from Sutter in just a moment, but let's start with a couple of the guys that we'll be watching here. One of them, league MVP out here in the West, Sean Bates.
Well, Sean Bates has been Mr. Everything for the Innisfail Eagles so far. 7 points in the tournament. That's tied for the lead. And he's on the penalty kill. He's on the power play. Brings a real high energy game. And also Justin Cox, a big forward. He scored the game winner in the semifinals. 1999 Dallas Stars draft pick. He'll be one to watch as well.
Definitely some weapons to work with for the head coach. Here's Brian Sutter.
It's an interesting tournament. We've had 30 guys here. They've all played. 31. 30 of them played. And you need everybody. This is 5 games, and this is what it's about. I've been here 5 times and gone to the final game every time I've been there, and every game's tough, and you expect the tournament to be that way, and it's you can't worry about the second period or the third period. You got to play a certain way in the first and be prepared early, and then just build on it. And if it's what you want, you got to be better.
Brian Sutter trying to lead his Innisfail Eagles to their first ever Allan Cup championship. Standing in his way, the hosts, Lacombe Generals.
The 2019 Allan Cup from Lacombe, Alberta is brought to you by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 30 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey team. And by TELUS. Stand with TELUS to bring good sportsmanship online. Together, we can end bullying. The 2019 Allan Cup from Lacombe, Alberta is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud partners of Hockey Canada.
It's the oldest tradition in Canadian hockey, 111th Allan Cup, set to go here from the Sportsplex in Lacombe. Dustin Nielsen and Kent Simpson with you, and that right there is a look at the starting goaltender for the Lacombe Generals, Tyler Wyman. He's played 2 games so far. He's been excellent in the event. At the other end, Alan York, who played 11 games with the Columbus Blue Jackets back in 2012. Actually has a .920 save percentage in the National Hockey League. Look at the head coach of the Generals for the last couple of seasons, Sean Robertson. And on the other bench, a look at the veteran, Brian Sutter. And there's not a country, or a family in this country, I should say, that is more passionate about this hockey game. They were going to win us right here. Chatting with Sutter over the last couple of days, I think we got a good sense of that, didn't we, Ken?
Well, did we ever. He is fired up for tonight.
Allan Cup underway from Lacombe. Oberg will ring it around the boards, and this puck will bounce down into the corner. Picked up there by the Generals, played back towards the point, kept in at the left point, and that'll be controlled by Galbraith. Tries to cut wide, walking in on his off wing. Lost the handle on, and it'll be taken away and out to the neutral zone. Oberg takes back over, takes a return feed now, looks up the right wing side, finds Galbraith now through the middle, a little bit of speed, and they'll get the blue line. This is Billy Marshall with the first shot of the game, and that one into the waiting glove there of Alan York.
Well, terrific atmosphere to start this game here, jam-packed. It's going to be standing room only here in Lacombe. Of course, Innisfail just about 50 kilometers down the Queen Elizabeth II highway. And going to be a lot of fun here this evening, Dustin.
Just on the other side of Red Deer, so a big crowd here cheering on Innisfail as well as they look for their first Allan Cup. This will be played all the way down the ice, knocked around in the corner there by Nathan Deck. And now moved down low. It'll be controlled there by Beachy. Tried to center it. That hit a body, bounced into the corner. Beachy got turned around there, couldn't come up with it. And it'll be brought ahead by the Generals. A little bit of room now walking in. This is Stroh, high slot, will try a shot. York, a blocker on it, and a couple attempts here early, denied by York. Robinson back the other way for Innisfail. In and onside, he'll track it down low, throws it up front, hit a leg, and dangerously bounces in behind the goal where bodies will collide. And the puck will be controlled by the home side, and they'll slowly bring it away. Long pass, that's a good one. Nowakowski walking in, York went for a poke check. And Nowakowski lost the handle on it. And boy, Kent, a couple of good looks here for the Generals in the early going.
A couple of quick strikes, very fast breakouts, Dustin. Trying to catch Innisfail Eagles defense on their heels, and a couple big saves from York, the Eagles netminder.
Far side, it'll be knocked down in behind the goal. Now bounces right up front, big bodies being thrown in behind the net. The puck will be cleared out to the neutral zone. Stopped there by Brendan Evans, and he'll send it back in. Cody Cartier in on the attack. It'll come around to Kelly, and Kelly for the Eagles plays it ahead. Found a man, Kalen Walls in over the blue line. Had it knocked away. Excellent pace here through the first couple of minutes. Now gone in the Allan Cup in Lacombe. Curran will reverse it to Kelly. Kelly now, long pass that's broken up at the blue line by the captain here of the Generals, Brendan Evans. Now played around on the far side. Towards the blue line, not out. That'll be kept in. Bates had a handle on it, but it was knocked away.
Well, Dustin, you almost sense a little bit of nerves from Innisfail. This is their first final. And we saw that early on, a couple of terrific opportunities from Lacombe. Quick breakout ahead to Kyle Stroh. He cuts across the top of the ice, tries to go back the other way against the grain. A big save from York. And then how about this long bog pass on the stick of Nowakowski? He just gets hooked at the last second. Lacombe was calling for a penalty there. It was not to be found. So looking strong early on is netminder Alan York from Innisfail.
Fee wins this draw. far point, and that'll be kept in at least momentarily. Now Vandermeer backhanded, comes back down in behind the goal, centered out front, nobody there. Back towards the blue line now, knocked to the near boards, hustling over there. On it is Bates, and he's able to move it ahead, looking for Cox, couldn't find him. Stephen Fee goes back for it, plays it into the corner there for Jesse. Jesse up the right wing boards, but no room, a second crack at it here now, and he'll flip it ahead out to the neutral zone where Fee has it knocked away by Cox. And Vandermeer will control and bring it ahead for the Eagles. Right side to Brett O'Malley. Tried to find Bates. That was broken up by Jesse. He turns and moves it ahead, and a little bit of room here to wheel now for the Generals. Shot coming, penalty coming as well, as a loose puck knocked into the corner, and the first power play of the hockey game will go to the Lacombe Generals.
Now it looks like it's going to be an interference call. It's going to be going to Tyler Beachy. We'll get a quick look. It was away from the play as Lacombe was carrying the puck up the ice. Tyler Beachy tries to slow down Lacombe Generals forward, trying to get in on the action there, and so an early power play for the Generals.
Generals power play 20.4% so far in the tournament. Here's Nathan Deck at the right point. He'll drop it off. Nelson down low in behind the net. Nelson takes the return feed on the right wing boards. Back up top to Deck. Flips it back over to Nelson. No traffic in front. They'll try to go high slot there to Stroll, but that's broken up and played all the way down the ice by Robinson. Back to regroup. Stroll brings it ahead. Nice little move. Gets himself some room. Drops it off left side. Back towards the goal through the crease and out the other side. Deck controls at the right point. Drops it off. Down low for Nelson. Nelson far side. Stroll lets it slide across. Now it'll be brought down the wing. Back up top. Nelson. Deck from the blue line. Drops it off. Trying to feather it into the slot area. That was broken up. Comes back around to Nelson though. Side of the goal, trying to jam it out. There's York again with that stick. Active this time, pokes it away. Stroh comes up with it. Knocks it in behind the goal for Brown. It'll come all the way back around. Nothing overly dangerous yet on this power play from the Generals with 45 seconds remaining in it. Now knocked in behind the goal, trying to hustle in there with Stroh. Knocked off the puck, tries to keep it alive. He does, gets it back to Norrish. Norrish eventually back to Deck with a shot through a crowd. That one wide, blocker side, and settled down on the far boards. Now Deck with a shot. His stick broke. Maybe an opportunity here for the Eagles to clear the zone, and Ken, that's exactly what they do.
Well, real good job by the Innisfail Eagles there. They were under pressure, but did a good job of keeping the Generals to the outside. The Generals had puck possession for about a minute straight in the offensive zone there, but it was all to the perimeter. Innisfail doing a good job keeping the puck away from netminder Alan York.
Now chipped in, this is Todd, and that'll be blown down on an offside as he had Bartow trying to drive towards the goal. And here's a look at the one chance they did have with the man advantage.
Well, this one came off the rush. Again, it was Kyle Stroll leading the way, kicks it out to the outside, and it was just looking for a bang-bang play, passing in front, just out of the reach of their Generals forward. And something about on the power play, attacking the net off the rush as opposed to setting up. We saw Lacombe did not have a whole lot of success in the first couple minutes there.
One shot on that power play for the Generals. Back to even strength. Galbraith in the corner. Watch closely there by Vandermeer. Galbraith trying to work his way out. Right to the slot, had it knocked away. Bates knocked down as he tried to skate that puck to the blue line. Picked up and now played ahead to O'Malley. And O'Malley, former Lethbridge Hurricane, will send it all the way down the ice. He's going to head off on a change. Bartow will control in the corner for the Generals. Drops it off in behind the net. And as the Eagles are able to sneak in a line change here, it'll be brought ahead by Norrish. Had it knocked away by Clay. And now Marshall will grab it. And Marshall plays it ahead. In behind the goal, York out there. Moves it around near boards for Beachy, out of the box and back in the play here. He'll go high off the glass and out to the neutral zone. Controlled there by the Generals to move it ahead. That's a good feed up the ice. Cannot be controlled though. And that'll be knocked down into the corner. Hustling in there after it is Walls. Took a bump, moved it around. The blue line not out. Oberg kept it in momentarily. Now Robinson will headman the puck here to Mulder. Mulder walking in, has a trailer, sends a shot on goal. Rebound was a juicy one. And now the whistle will be blown as we remain scoreless. Almost 7 minutes gone here in the 111th Allan Cup. Welcome back to Lacombe, everyone. Look at the Generals, who are off to a good start. 6 shots on goal in the first 6.5 minutes, and it could be a busy night here for both netminders, Kent.
Well, shooting the puck's been a common theme for both clubs, especially Lacombe, averaging over 40 shots per game, and like you mentioned, already 6 in just over 6 minutes of action here in the final.
Took Innisfail 6 minutes and 41 seconds to get their first shot of the game. So you talked about a little bit earlier, maybe a few nerves here being in an Allan Cup final for the first time. Now Curran in over the blue line. That shot wide, blocker comes all the way back around a wall, sends it towards the net. Stop there. Robinson will try again. And Wyman got a piece of that one, knocked it in behind the goal. Now to be moved towards the blue line and brought away by Cartier. Cartier gets the zone onside, had it knocked away. Todd couldn't get a stick on it. And Walls is going to try to go for a skate, hustling over there though. And breaking it up was Doug Jesse. Puck ends up in behind the goal. Jack hammered there in the corner. Puck pops loose, and this will be picked up. Wraparound attempt coming. Paddle was down. And they'll knock it back in behind the goal. Comes back to the point there for Walls. Walls knocks it back in behind the net. Dorowitz on it for the Eagles. Looks back up towards the blue line. Now will backhand it down into the corner, turning with a shot. And Wyman's there, takes it in the chest and hangs on. So first good amount of sustained pressure here from Innisfail in this game.
Yeah, it starts with a physical presence up ice there, getting up on the forecheck, playing the body, winning the race to the battles, and then short side jam play doesn't quite in, and then a long shot gobbled up easily by Wyman. But as you mentioned, the first stretch there where we've seen Innisfail control the play offensively.
Sean Bates on the draw, the 2 MVPs out west here during the regular season. Co-MVP Sean Bates, who's the center for the Eagles, and Bartow, who's a D-man, former University of Alberta Golden Bear defenseman for the Generals. His shot wide, comes all the way back up the left side boards. Hayes moves down from the point to keep it alive. From right on the front, Cox with the shot, and he scores! First blood for Innisfail. Justin Cox left alone in the slot, and he fires it past Tyler Wyman.
Well, terrific setup here from Innisfail, winning the race to the loose pucks. Terrific poise. How about this pass? The puck gets kicked down low. O'Malley, a behind the back pass right onto the tape of Justin Cox, on and off his stick in a hurry. But the presence of mind from O'Malley to put that puck, a no-look feed, right onto Cox, on and off his stick in the blink of the eye. 1-0 Innisfail.
Third of the tournament for Cox, as he was left all alone in front, and he's one of the few guys, if you are Lacombe, that you do not want to leave that wide open. As the puck will come back to the point, scooped away here though by Beachy. Beachy moves it across, and trying to drag a leg there was Ty Clay, but could not stay on side, so we'll get a whistle, and it gives us another opportunity to see the opening goal from Innisfail.
Well, we saw the Eagles starting to establish a little bit of a presence down low. Good pinch from the defenseman there, through the legs from O'Malley. He knew where Cox was. And Cox is able to beat the glove side of Wyman from the Generals.
Fourth shot of the game for the Eagles finds the back of the net. Cox gets it from O'Malley. And it really just started with a pinch and almost a nothing play just to get the puck deep. It was really O'Malley who made the play that set up the goal.
Yeah, he knew where he was going to put that puck even before it got to him. He recognized the pinch was coming down. He knew where Cox was. Terrific foresight there.
Generals now looking to have an answer as this one's knocked down the ice. Oberg got a stick on it. And now to be moved ahead and backhanded down there by Kyle Ross. Alex Curran goes back to pick it up for the Eagles. He's going to be pressured here by Korchinski. Gets a little bit of help, and they're able to clear the zone. Long pass, a good one. Kelly's able to pick it up with a shot. Wyman takes it in the glove and will hang on. And you know what, for Innisfail, we mentioned this is the 12th time these two teams have played this year. Innisfail has only won 2 of them. So for them to get this goal early in a game, at this level on this stage, it could go a long way here for a team that has picked up a couple of wins against the Generals this season.
It really will. And, you come out of that first break we had 6 minutes into the period, Dustin, when it was 6-1, the shots for the Generals. Since then, the shots have been 4-0 for Innisfail, one of those resulting in a goal.
So they have definitely settled in, and they're going to get another offensive zone face-off here as that puck was sent all the way down the ice. And we had an opportunity yesterday to get down here to Lacombe and settle in and watch both of the semifinals, and we thought there was a little bit of a different style in both of those semifinals yesterday, didn't we?
Oh, there really is. And any Sutter coach team, well, you know what you're going to get with them. Brian Sutter at the helm of Innisfail. They go in straight lines, physical presence first. As for Lacombe, what you might call maybe a little bit more of the modern game, a little more flow out there, let the puck do the work. So we were both quite excited to see how both those two styles would translate here in the final.
Lyman will come out and leave it in behind his own goal. Now backhanded to the boards and out to the neutral zone. Played ahead. Cartier got a stick on it. This will come around to Vandermeer. And the captain of the Eagles, Vandermeer, moves it ahead. He was a general for a long time as well. And Cox stopped there before he could get to the blue line. It's going to be broken up. Bartow drops it back. And now Norrish will move it ahead. Norrish onto the stick of Todd. Settles it down. He's got Norrish to his left. Nice feed. Norrish walking in. And that one off of a body up and out of play. But a nice job there from Norrish to jump into the rush.
Well, Norrish defenseman jumping into the play. Chase Norris, nice little move. Gets the puck on the wing here. Tries to go short side. Goes off the blocker of York and stays out.
Draw, controlled shot from the slot. That's off of a leg and into the corner. Come around to the blue line, not out. Bartow from the point, off the stick of Beachy, up and out of play, and maybe a little bit of a break there. I believe it was Beachy who failed to clear the zone. You saw him kind of get frustrated with himself momentarily.
Well, you're right, Dustin. A little bit of frustration as that puck came around the half wall. He had a little bit more time. That's where communication is so important, especially in a rink like this. You got a lot of people in this building. It's loud. Teammates have to call, let him know he's got time, not just to panic and throw that puck up to the boards there.
Walls moves it around the boards. That one will come to Nichols, and he will, as he falls, gets it out and over the blue line. Controlled now by Innisfail. They'll move it up the left wing board. Stepping up there, though, Bartow picks it off, and he'll send it all the way down the ice. Walls goes back to get it. Some pressure coming there from Nowakowski. Nowakowski now trying to come up with the puck. He will. He's on his backhand in the corner. Puts it back up top to Bartow. Drops it back off. Nowakowski has it knocked away. And now it'll be chipped up, taken down by Stroh with a shot, wide glove all the way around. Kept in by Norrish at the left point when traffic in front sends one through, bouncing puck. Bartow slides down, couldn't come up with it. Robinson from his belly gets a little bit of help here, and Nichols finally able to clear the zone as the Generals trying to regain momentum in this hockey game. Here's Bartow, he'll send one in. And York, no problem with that one. He will hang on, and why wouldn't he? The Eagles with an early 1-0 lead here over the Lacombe Generals in the 2019 Allan Cup. Just outside Lacombe, Alberta, but really that could be anywhere here in central Alberta, including Innisfail just down the road. And it is the Eagles with an early 1-0 lead here at the Sportsplex in Lacombe. Fifth consecutive Allan Cup final for the Generals. Two of them in Bentley, two of them since they moved to Lacombe. And they've got control of it now. Down into the corner. Controlled there by Ross. Ross drops it off for Oberg. Oberg tried to cut it to the middle. Nobody there. Dorwitz will pick it up. Move it all the way back here to the captain, Evans. Settles it down. A lot of AHL experience for Brendan Evans.
Well, is there ever over 850 games in the American Hockey League for Brendan Evans. He's definitely a leader on the back end.
There's a shot that trickles off the stick of Billy Marshall, who's playing forward here. He was at the University of Mount Royal for 5 years as a defenseman, but playing forward here. But a great career for Evans, as you were discussing.
Well, and when we talked to head coach Sean Robertson before the game, he really talked about his back end on this club. We talk about Evans, his experience, Oberg as well. Nathan Deck played 5 years in the Western Hockey League. These guys have really carried the mail for Lacombe so far this year.
Shots 8-5 in favor of the Generals, but they trail 1-0, 8.5 minutes to go here. Opening period, standing room only in Lacombe. Now back to the blue line. And that one will eventually be knocked out. Cartier picks it up, throws it across far side. That's a good look. It'll be brought in by Brown, sends one wide. Comes all the way back around to the right point, can't keep it in. Cartier will reload here for the Generals. Now they find Todd. Todd will bring it in. Puts on the brakes, might be in a little bit of trouble, gets it back to the point. Shot deflected, rebound there. Brown tried to go up top short side, and York got a shoulder on it. Now back to Jesse at the point. Jesse turns, fires through a crowd, off the end boards, and nice awareness there from York as he sees through the traffic, picks up the puck off the end boards and gets a glove on it.
Well, some good energy here from Lacombe. Some pressure in the Innisfail, and getting the puck back to the point, and then trying to get some traffic in front. And no doubt they were watching the semifinal yesterday when Allan York, the netminder for Innisfail, was very, very strong. You got to get some traffic, get some screens in front of him. He's going to be very, very tough to beat one-on-one.
Goaltender of the year here in the Allan Cup West League, as this one is sent all the way down the ice, and we'll do it again here to the left of Allan York. A former Camrose Kodiak, was on a stacked Camrose team back in the day with the likes of Joe Colburn and actually Evan Oberg, who we've talked about here in this game, and Jesse Todd. So 3 members of that powerhouse Camrose Kodiaks team from 2000. Well, they were dominant from about 2005 to 2009. And a few other guys playing here today. Now Walls will bring it ahead. Clay tries to skate onto it, but a little bit too far. Walls thought he'd got to center ice. Linesman's gonna say no, and we're gonna bring it all the way back down.
Well, Kalen Walls just probably about 2 feet before the red line before he sent that puck down for icing. Linesman was standing right there. He was hoping for a little bit of a gimme, but Linesman said, not in the final here.
Todd on the draw, wins it back cleanly. Settled down there by Norris, drops it off. Cartier sends a shot through, hit a shin pad. Todd picks it up again, another shot in, and York really no holes in his game there as he just squared to that puck and held on to it.
Well, we're seeing Lacombe have some success on the faceoffs, especially in the offensive zone here. One to the back, Chase Norris kicks it off to the side. Again, traffic in front. The first shot blocked by Bensmiller. Rebound is there. You get the idea, Lacombe trying to get everything they can to the Innisfail netminder.
10 shots so far, all of them stopped by York. Now up the right wing boards, pass, unable to be handled there by Nichols. He'll chase Bartow in behind the net. Bartow moves it up cleanly, right wing boards. Vandermeer at the blue line, able to break things up and get some help from Robinson and knock it back out where Bartow will glove it down in center. And a backhander up along the boards that eventually bounces up and out of play with 6:51 remaining here in the first.
Well, there's a look at Ian Bartow from the Lacombe Generals, a former University of Alberta Golden Bear, had a stellar career there at the university, and defenseman of the year, one of the co-MVPs, as you mentioned early on in his league, and just a solid presence on the back end, can play physical but can move the puck very well as well.
National champion, of course, during his time at the University of Alberta as well. Now be brought up the left wing boards, down low center towards the goal. Nobody could get a stick on it. Scooped up and brought back the other way by Kelly. Also played for the Golden Bears. And on the far side, it'll be blown down on the offside as Dorowitz couldn't handle it cleanly at the blue line.
And you can see Kyle Dorowitz there had a head of steam and just lost it at a moment there. And this was Levi Nelson coming across the line for the Generals, looking for somebody in front.
Bates on the draw, uses his skate to win it cleanly back. Walls from center ice will hammer it in. Wyman steers it into the corner. Oberg on it there for the Generals. Pressured, shot through. Rebound in behind the goal. That'll be controlled here by O'Malley. O'Malley trying to kick it loose. And it'll be picked up and moved ahead. Galbraith takes a look, finds a man. Marshall in over the blue line, drops it off. Now he'll trail on the play. It's puck sent through the crease. They've done that a couple of times, but nobody getting to the front of the net. Now Marshall with a shot. Hit Galbraith in the leg, bounces to the corner. Galbraith on it there, turns with a shot. Deflected. And now an opportunity here for Walls. Plays it up the boards, but couldn't get it out. Bates will hop on it. Gives it away just inside the blue line, and now it's played back down into the corner. Off the glass and out down the ice. That one will go the distance for icing. And since they got the goal, the Eagles have been content to kind of sit back here a little bit, and I wonder if that's going to work for 2.5 periods. Probably not.
I don't think it will, and you know, it's funny, what led to that goal was terrific up-ice pressure, playing physical. They've really been on their heels since. Terrific game adjustment from Lacombe, putting everything to the front of the net. Even if it's not a shot on net, we're seeing them try to just throw pucks in that general direction. Maybe hoping for a tip in or a skate.
O'Malley will flip it high, finds some clean ice, knocks it out to the neutral zone. Grabbed there by Deck. Deck will bring it ahead. Ran into trouble as O'Malley closed on him quickly. Now O'Malley will get it again. Once again, just chip it out to the neutral zone. Deck settles it down. Finds Nowakowski, who brings it in right side. Waits. Has some traffic going towards the goal. Tried to send it there as Stroh was cutting in. Now Stroh's able to come up with it again. Turned with a shot wide blocker. Jesse moves down for the point to keep it alive. Walls have been out there for a long time. He bats it up towards the blue line. Does get it out. A little bit of a trip there, no call, and Jesse's able to come back and grab the puck for the Generals. Stroh deflects it in, heads off on a change. Beachy with a little bit of room now. Brings it in, sends one towards the goal, and Wyman with no traffic there. Looked like Clay was trying to get there, but could not do it in time with 4:51 remaining here in the opening 20. Innisfail with a 1-0 cushion over Lacombe. Jammed house for the 2019 Allan Cup in Lacombe, with the Generals trailing 1-0. And I know there's a lot of Innisfail fans here. There's a little bit of a tension in the building here right now, isn't there, Ken?
There really is. You know, they were excited at puck drop. A little bit of a calmness has come across them all. They're looking for some excitement to get on their feet again. And Dustin, I hope that the fire chief from Lacombe is in the building here, and because they're standing room only. I'm sure they're well past capacity, which you wouldn't have it any other way in Lacombe.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't here, to be honest with you. Now in the corner, this will be backhanded around. Hustling over there is Mulder. Mulder gets it back to the point. Shot through. That one didn't miss by much. Took a one-hop down into the corner, and now will be brought back out into the neutral zone. Generals trying to relieve some pressure here. Nichols will collide. Grabs the puck but gives it away. Norris brings it back in. Lost it in his skates, able to knock it down into the corner for Cartier. Cartier on it there. Up the far boards, drops it back off. And that one has Vandermeer with the hit on Norris. Knocked that puck up and out of play.
I've liked what we've seen early on from Chase Norris, defenseman for Lacombe, 26 years old, played at the Rochester Institute of Technology in the NCAA. Very active defenseman, jumps up into the play quite often. We've seen him be able to make some terrific outlet passes as well.
Off the draw, shot from the point, rebound, put towards the goal, and York kicks out the right pad. Lost his stick though, and now it'll be played in behind the net all the way around near side. Generals want to hop all over this here. York watching on as the puck into the corner. Vandermeer there, moving down from the point. Evans, a nice play to keep it deep. Korchinski comes in to try to help out. Vandermeer will grab it though. Throws it over on the near side to Hayes. Hayes to the blue line. Not out, kept in there. Huismans will knock it down into the corner. York's got his stick back. Vandermeer's got the puck. It's on his backhand. Takes a big hit. And it'll be a power play coming up here as the Eagles captain, Joe Vandermeer, got hammered by Tanner Korchinski.
Well, right before this was probably the best opportunity from Lacombe. Right off the face-off. It's a face-off one, a hard shirt from Oberg. And how about the rebound save from York? He kicks it out with his right pad, and then on the doorstep, almost a full splits. He's able to turn it aside. And here is the penalty. Tanner Korchinski takes in Vandermeer very, very hard into the boards. Boarding call there, so a huge save at one end, and now a power play opportunity for Innisfail at the other.
And a big opportunity indeed here, a chance to go up by a pair in this power play. Best in the event so far, 29.4%.
Well, it goes without saying, in a one-off final here, Dustin, special teams crucial. You want to take advantage, make the most of those opportunities.
Onside now, Curran He'll take it in behind the goal, turns with a shot, rebound sitting just in the slot. It'll be picked up and played out. Eagles will have to clear the zone. And move it over to O'Malley on the near boards. O'Malley hit Bates with that. And now it'll be brought ahead. Cartier shorthanded. He'll fire York, no problem. Steers it away with the pad. And now another penalty coming up. And this one taken all the way down the ice. And it's going to lead to a 5-on-3 for a $1.13.
Well, it's going to be Nolan Hughesman. And boy, these are penalties that drive coaches crazy. Not only are you on the penalty kill, but you're also 200 feet away from your own end. Just a little too aggressive on the forecheck, called for a trip. And wow, 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 13 seconds for Innisfail here. The door is ajar for a terrific opportunity.
It's actually only going to be a one-man advantage, as a penalty was also given to Hayes on the play. He's in the box. We didn't pick up the Hayes one, but we'll continue to just play 5-on-4. Eagles power play continues. They'll get it back up to the point. Now thrown across left side for Vandermeer. Vandermeer try to send it towards the goal. That's going to be blocked there, and an opportunity for Nowakowski. He'll get it all the way down the ice.
Well, bullet dodge there for the Generals, waiting on the announcement. I wonder if it was an embellishment call, because we saw Hughesman going off. He was really upset that he was getting the call, but Hayes went as well.
Here's Ross, an opportunity shorthanded. Finds Cartier. York denies him, but penalty drawn. It's going to be a slashing call, as Cartier, when he went to his backhand to try to tuck that one home, took a slash. And we will now play 4-on-4 here.
Well, the best chances so far on the Innisfail power play have gone to Lacombe. Pushing pressure up ice. Nice little pass from Ross to Cartier in front. And a whack on the back of his hands from Innisfail. Defender coming back hard was Walls. And now we're going to play 4-on-4 for 29 seconds. Then Lacombe will go to the power play for 1.5 minutes.
Walls joining Colton Hayes in the box. Hayes did get an embellishment penalty on that trip earlier, so that's why we continued to play with the power play at the time for the Eagles.
And that was a big break there, because my initial reaction was 5-on-3. And so fortunate for the Generals that it was coincidental there. And now 4-on-4 action.
For 24 seconds. Face-off one, back to Barteau at the blue line. Barteau sends one through, some traffic there. Too much, hit a body. Nelson, though, on it first, drops it off to Stroh. Stroh sends one back door, and they score! A beautiful feed! As they find Chase Norrish moving in from the points. He beats York, and we're tied at 1.
How about the vision from Kyle Stroh here? Lacombe is able to control the puck right off the face-off. Ian Barteau goes for a long shot. Puck goes into the corner. Lacombe is able to hold on the puck, and look at Stroh looking backdoor. Terrific recognition from the defenseman Chase North to jump down low to get backdoor wide open. And our player to watch, Kyle Stroh, goes tape to tape backdoor. No chance for the netminder. And what a huge goal under 2 minutes in the first period for Lacombe.
I don't know if York was a little shaken up there or not. Took a little bit of extra time to reset. Interesting swing here possibly for the Generals, because they score and they're going to go on a power play here in about 5 seconds time. Stroh walking in. A nice little drag with a shot, and that's a big save from York. And he's able to hang on to the rebound as well, as Korchinski comes out of the penalty box, and it will be in a power play for 1 minute and 31 seconds now for the Generals.
Well, the ebbs and flow of hockey, and especially in an Allan Cup final here. And now the momentum is fully in the Lacombe Generals' direction.
Face-off one, back to Deck at the right point. Dumps it off to Oberg, comes back to Deck. They play past the blue line. Now they'll find Todd, he'll work it down low. Takes a return feed here from Oberg as the two former Camrose Kodiaks play pass there. Now Deck with a shot. Curran got a stick on it to deflect it wide. Comes back up top to Oberg. Flings it across to Deck. Right point, return feed. Oberg with a shot. York got a pad on that one. It'll be controlled by Galbraith. On his backhand now, flips it back to Oberg. Still 50 seconds left to work in the power play. Todd shot off of a body. Deck stumbles. Can he keep it in? No. Hopping all over that one is Robinson. He'll get it all the way down the ice. 45 seconds remaining here in period number 1.
We're seeing a little bit better penetration in this second power play for Lacombe. They were very perimeter the first time around.
Now they'll bring it in. Stroh whipped on a shot. Scooped up and fired all the way down the ice by the Eagles. Barteau goes back here. Maybe time for one more rush. 25 seconds remaining in the period. We're deadlocked at 1. Barteau brings it ahead. Far side look. That'll be controlled by the goal scorer, Norrish. Walks in with 15 seconds left. Drops it off. And that shot blocked. Comes back around Norrish. Can he keep in a bouncing puck? Yes, settles it down at the left point. Throws it over to Barteau. He's going to try a wrist shot. That's blocked. And will eventually be played off the linesman and out to the neutral zone. And that will do it for the opening 20 minutes as Lacombe fell behind early, but managed to get some momentum and eventually put one behind Allan York.
Well, the last 10 minutes, Lacombe was definitely the better club. We saw a terrific flurry from Innisfail early on to get the lead, but the Generals got their feet going in the latter half, and Allan York, the netminder for Innisfail, under siege late in the period.
York stopping 17 of 18. His Eagles tied with the Generals 1-1 after 1 at the 2019 Allan Cup. Welcome back to Lacombe, everyone. We're an entertaining 20 minutes in the books, and it is the Generals right now tied with the Eagles 1-1. Innisfail getting a 1-0 lead, but the Lacombe Generals here at home getting the crowd into it by tying this game at 1 and having some good pressure here late in the first period. We're now joined by Generals forward Jesse Todd. And Jesse, talk about falling behind 1-0 and what was said when you guys found yourself trailing early.
We just kind of wanted to stick to the game plan. We were kind of all over them to start. They had a nice pushback there. They were able to get a nice goal, but we just kind of sticking to our game. We want to get pucks deep and get on forechecks, and luckily there, Strozy made a nice backdoor pass to Norris to tie the game at 1.
Yeah, how much confidence do you guys have in this game tied at 1 right now, considering the success that you've had against Innisfail so far this season?
Oh, it's the success, I guess, doesn't even matter in this game. It's going to come down to who wants it more. They're going to work hard. We're going to work hard. It's going to be a battle of whoever wants to outwill the other opponent, and hopefully at the end of this, we're coming out on top.
Jesse, thanks for this, and good luck in the final 40.
Thanks, guys.
That's Jesse Todd of the Lacombe Generals, who right now have tied at 1 with Innisfail, the 2019 Allan Cup in Lacombe.
Each season, more than 100 teams take to the ice with hopes of playing at Canada's National Female Midget Championship, the Esso Cup. Premier marketing partner of Hockey Canada, Imperial Oil is proud to help the growth of women's hockey across Canada. Visit hockeycanada.ca/Esso Cup.
It's the 2019 Allan Cup final. We are tied at 1 through 20 minutes between Innisfail and the host Lacombe Generals. Now, spring has arrived and hockey season is winding down, but it's not over just yet. There's still a lot of games to be played, and in fact here over the next 5 weeks we'll have close to 90 games here on TSN with a number of trophies still up for grabs.
On Thursday, the best young talent from around the world gathers in Sweden for the 21st edition of the Men's World Under-18 Championship. Team Canada looks to improve on last year's 5th place finish, but will be in tough, opening with the defending champions from Finland. Later this month, the best in female midget hockey hit the ice in search of the Esso Cup. The 2015 champion Lady Sudbury Wolves will host the winners of the Pacific, West, Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic regions. Alberta's St. Albert Slash will try to make history and win a 3rd straight national title.
For the 5th time, the Notre Dame Hounds will raise the TELUS Cup.
Also this month, Canada's best male midget teams will head to Thunder Bay and the 46th edition of the TELUS Cup. In May, Slovakia plays host to the Men's World Championship.
Ritzmarner swings in, points and shoots. Lundqvist makes the save, and Sweden has won the gold medal. Nino Niederreiter, stop! And the Swedes repeat as the World Hockey Champions.
Sweden will try to win a third straight world title for the first time in their history. Canada will be in Group A along with Finland, the United States, and the hosts from Slovakia. Last year, the Chilliwack Chiefs took home the gold. On May 19, a new champion will be crowned. Brooks, Alberta will play host to the National Junior A Championship. What a month of hockey on tap, and you can see it all right here on TSN.
Busy schedule coming up, and we've got a busy final 40 minutes jam-packed here in Lacombe. We're tied at 1 after 20. The Women's World Hockey Championship from Finland will conclude tomorrow with Team USA battling the host Finnish squad for the gold medal game action. You can catch it all midday at TSN 1 and 3. First period highlights from Lacombe here at the Allan Cup, and good start early for Lacombe.
Now, Lacombe was flying right off the opening puck drop. That might have been their best opportunity. A good save from netminder Alan York. Innisfail finally got their feet under them. What a pass here from Brent O'Malley through the legs right onto the tape of Justin Cox. That put the Eagles on the board 1-0. They continued with some pretty physical play, had some good chances from there, keeping the puck down low, using their speed to win races to the puck, but it was eventually Lacombe that drew even. How about this pass? Backdoor from Kyle Stroh to Chase Norris, jumping in from the point, tape to tape into the back of the net, and that is where we stand right now, 1-1 through 20 minutes of play.
18 shots on goal for Lacombe in that opening period is the thing that really stands out as we take a look at the first period scoring summary. Alan York was busy. I thought he was good, though. He had no chance on the one goal, the Chase Norris goal, his fourth of the tournament. No chance on that goal, but outside of that, he was pretty good. He's going to have to be probably for Innisfail the rest of the way, Kent.
He's really going to have to be good, and you're right. He was sensational in that opening period. He's a very quick reflex goalie, so you have to have a wide open net like Norris did in order to beat him, because he's a big body. We saw him do the splits in that opening 20 minutes. Desperation save to kick out a right pad. He battles every way through, and just with the amount of pucks that Lacombe's flying his way, he's going to have to be on his game for 40 more minutes at least.
See the Generals come back onto the ice. They're probably okay with where they're at, 1-1 right now. But if you're the Innisfail Eagles, you got to be feeling pretty good about where you're at right now, right? You'll take a tie game after 20 minutes here in the Allan Cup.
There is no question. I mean, you think 5 straight finals for Lacombe. This is the first ever final appearance for Innisfail, so they had to scrape away some nerves to start the game, and then of course they got the opening goal, which was huge for them. We're able to kind of weather a little bit of a Lacombe General storm late in the period, and to be standing 1-1 tied in enemy territory, if you will. I know there is a strong Innisfail presence here, but majority of the crowd here are Lacombe Generals backers, and for Innisfail, they do have to be pleased where they are so far.
Yeah, I think they were happy that the opening period ended when it did, because after Lacombe tied this game at 1, they had really taken over and were really pressing, worked their way through some penalty trouble there at the end of that, and discipline over the final 40 minutes, Kent. I know that's something you want to talk about in the first. It's going to be really important here over the last 2 periods, isn't it?
Crucial. I mean, it's the only thing. I mean, you're 40 minutes away from a national championship in Allan Cup. You can't get caught up in anything after the whistles. If you get a hit that you don't like, you just got to stay away. You got to be mindful of your sticks out there, because special teams are paramount in a one-off game like this. You don't want to give your opponent any extra opportunities offensively.
Dustin Nielsen and Kent Simpson with you in Lacombe, and we are underway with a quick offside, just 4 seconds in to the second period. Jam-packed here in Lacombe, where the Generals moved 2 years ago after winning their 3rd title in Bentley. They moved just down Highway 12 here to Lacombe, where they have been to the last 2 Allan Cup finals, but came up short as Lacombe Generals. So they're looking for their first Allan Cup title here as the Lacombe Generals, and that would certainly please a community that just after a couple of years has really jumped behind this club, Kent.
The support has been absolutely incredible this week. People in the stands, sponsors, the local community, restaurants, everyone getting involved. So terrific to see.
Now Marshall battling for the puck, gets some help there from Galbraith, who gives it away. Now played up the middle. Bates wanted to go for a skate, but Oberg read that broke it up, now gives it away. Bates will grab it, and he's away to the races here for the Eagles. Bates, tournament's leading scorer with 7 points, tried a shot, hit a shin pad, got it back, sent it towards the goal. Wyman almost looked like he was going to cheat off that post, but he stayed there, kept that puck out, and covered up the rebound.
Well, Sean Bates is pretty dangerous, and if you're netminder Tyler Wyman, you have to be aware every time number 11 in red is on the ice. Seems like a harmless little play here, but he just throws that on net, trying to catch the netminder off guard. And you can see actually the rebound kicked out a little bit. Smart play from the Generals defender just to kick that back to his goalie for a whistle.
That's one all the way down the ice. No icing here, so York will come out and play it. Moves it around far side, almost gave it away, but got a somewhat of a friendly bounce as it stayed away from Stroh, and now they're able to move it ahead. This is Ty Clay. Clay brings it in. They've got numbers. Clay with a shot, and that one blockered away, up and out of play with just over a minute gone here in period number 2.
Well, we mentioned 18 shots fired for Lacombe in the first period. Innisfail wants to add to their total, now up to 10, and we saw a long shot from Ty Clay there onto Ty Wyman that goes up and out of play from the blocker.
Now in behind the net. This will be moved ahead, and the Generals will play it ahead to Brown. Brown flips it through the neutral zone. That'll be controlled by Cartier. Bounced on him a little bit, cuts inside, drops it back to Brown with a shot. First one didn't get through, second one wide, and all the way back down the ice, forcing Deck to go back and get it here. The Eagles are going to sneak in a quick line change. Todd tried to take advantage of it. Now he's going to bring it in. Todd stood up at the blue line, following up on the play. Robinson will grab it for the Eagles, and he'll skate it away. Gets the blue line, cuts wide, driving the net on his backhand. Didn't miss by much, comes all the way around, and back out into the neutral zone. Now settled down by Deck. Takes a look near side. Brown will deflect it down the ice and head off for a breather. Baller goes back to get it, moves it across to Vandermeer. Long pass ahead. Norsch tried to step up, break it up. Couldn't control it. Now Mulder will bring it in. Backhands it down into the corner. Nichols in there trying to play the body. He stumbles, and Norsch will skate it out of harm's way. He'll bring it all the way up the ice. Gets the zone, flips one towards the goal, and York will steer it to the corner. Nichols comes crashing in, banging back in there. The puck will be controlled by Pete Vandermeer, who moves it around to the blue line. Norsch will keep it in. Another crack at it here for Baller. Gives it away, centered into the slot. Oh, and Stroh turned to fire, but he lost the handle on it. Now an opportunity the other way for Kelly. Didn't have enough speed, had to put on the brakes. Barteau gets back to tie him up. Stroh will come and grab it, flips it ahead. Broken up there, though, by Dorowitz at the blue line for the Eagles. Second crack at it here. Stroh picks it up. Nice use of the skate there. Now a shot. And that one, was that off the bar and up out of play? I think I heard a little bit of a ding there as York looks behind him.
Well, Dustin, you get the sense that this game could break open. Both teams with some chances. How about the speed from Chad Robinson, former Red Deer Rebel in the WHL, down the wing. His shot blocked away, and then the long shot here goes off the crossbar, gets past Allan York, up and out of play. So both teams pushing. The second goal for either team could be right around the corner.
Now poked ahead. Fee into the corner, wanted to center it, couldn't get it done. Back to the point for Evans. The captain tried to drop it off. Now he's going to be pressured by Cox, the goal scorer for the Eagles. Oh, a nice help there from Olberg to come over and pick up that puck. Now moves it ahead to Korchinski. Korchinski walking in. His shot right into the glove of York. Looking to give somebody the business there as they came by his crease as well.
Well, some good back pressure from the Generals. Leads the puck coming the other way. Korchinski, just a long shot, easily gobbled up. And why not just throw the puck on net? You can see the head up from Korchinski there, looking for a pass, doesn't like what he sees. Elects to throw it on net. Now you have a face-off deep in offensive territory.
20 shots on goal here for the Generals. We remain tied at 1. Ty Clay brings it ahead, pokes it down into the corner. On it, there's Oberg. Pressured by Beachy. Beachy comes up with it, gets it back to the point. Settled down there by Walls. Moves it down low to Clay. Clay on his backhand here. Watch closely. Drops it off. Bensmiller moves it around. Now come back to Curran. Curran finds himself a little bit of room up near the blue line. Now drops it off. Clay shot. No good. Bounces in behind the goal where Beachy comes up with it. Plays it back to the point. Some nice pressure here from the Eagles, but it bounces over the blade of Curran, and now they'll have to regroup with almost 4 minutes gone in period number 2. Bouncing puck onto the stick of Oberg. Tried to move it ahead to Marshall. Could not control it. Now to be played down the ice. That one will go the distance for icing. 15:58 remaining in a second period, and we're tied at 1.
Well, there's a look at Lacombe Generals defenseman Brennan Evans. 870 games in the American Hockey League, the captain of this club. Such a strong presence on the back end. He's typically paired with Evan Oberg. Those two guys are tough to beat from an Innisfail Eagles standpoint.
He had 3 stops in the Western Hockey League as well. And now it'll be played all the way down the ice by Stroh. Nelson was in there on the forecheck. Bouncing puck. It's going to roll towards the blue line, and Kelly will grab it and play it out of the Eagles zone. Now backhanded back down the ice. And that one will be blown down on the icing.
Well, Dustin, we've seen so far that the linesmen are not giving any room here on icings here. Nowakowski, I'd say, was probably 6 inches.
That was a tight one, yeah.
From the red line there, and he gets called on the icing. So the message should be clear to both clubs. Gain the red line.
Benz Miller on the draw here for the Eagles. Can't win it. Stroh knocks it back, but some nice pressure there. And another crack at it for the Generals. They'll flip it high out and down the ice. Vandermeer going back for it here. No icing. Vandermeer will grab it. Pressure coming. He has to move it around the boards. Near side for Clay. Clay couldn't control. Hayes will grab it. Tried to move it ahead. Broken up. Now Brown will bring it back in. Throws it across. Shot coming, and they score! Firing it home. Jesse Todd under the arm of Alan York, and the Generals have their first lead of the game.
Wow, what a shot from Jesse Todd, but this starts in the neutral zone. A real heads-up play for Matt Brown. He's able to win this puck and then just throws it to the middle of the ice. That's where Todd is. That created a 2-on-1, and I don't think Alan York was ready for that shot. And you can just see Todd with his head up using the Innisfail Eagles defender as a screen, and is able to tuck that under the armpit of the netminder Alan York. So a real heads-up play from the Generals.
Maybe a little bit sweeter for Todd as he beats his former junior teammate here in the Allan Cup. Now the Eagles, do they have a response? Nichols brings it in. Nichols with some room, hesitated too long though. Cartier got back and was able to break it up. Shot coming through, bouncing through traffic. And it'll be controlled by Robinson, who turns in another one on goal. That's just wide, blocker side. Some pressure here, a nice response from the Eagles, and eventually we will get a whistle. With a little bit of a scrum here to the left of the Generals' goal. The Eagles might need to grease this game up a little bit, I think, Kent.
I think you're right. And that was a terrific response after giving up the 2-1 goal. They came right back into Lacombe territory. Had a couple of chances on Wyman. There's a look at the goal scorer, Jesse Todd, with a terrific shot to put the hometown team up 2-1.
Bates on the draw here for the Eagles. Offensively, he's been quiet so far in this game. Took a shot right off the chest there. And it'll be grabbed and brought back the other way. Solid burst there from Huysmans. Now bounces right onto the stick of Cox here, walking in on his off-wing shot. Deflected up and out of play as the captain of the Generals got over there. Brennan Evans got a stick on it, knocked it up into the netting.
Well, one of the most dangerous forwards for the Eagles has been Justin Cox. He had the goal in the first period. We talked about his speed down the wing. You can see him getting a full stride here, pick up this loose puck. On the off wing, trying to go far side. Good active stick from the Bentley Generals defenseman to deflect that up and out of harm's way.
This top line for the Eagles remains out there. They win the draw back to Curran. Shot blocked. Marshall can't get it deep. Stood up there just outside the blue line. Now Cox will send it in, wants to chase in after it here. Curran stands in there at the blue line. Keeps control, pressure now, finds O'Malley. O'Malley, backhand pass, not gonna work this time. Galbraith will get it out to the neutral zone. Curran reverses it up the far boards there. Bates back to Curran. Curran lugs it to center. He'll get the red line and hammer it in. O'Malley first on it. Lays it in behind the goal there for Clay. Come around to Marshall now. Billy Marshall, nobody in the neutral zone. That'll be controlled by Vandermeer. Flips it over to Hayes. Hayes hit his own teammate trying to send that one in. Now taken away by Ross. Ross walking in by himself as his line mates are going to head off on a change. And he'll join him. He just backhands it into the corner and heads off. Play now for the Eagles. Puck in his skates. Has it taken away by Nowakowski. Moves it back to Bartow. Far pass. Broken up just inside the blue line. Now Nowakowski gets it with a little bit of room. He's going to step into one. Scores! Hammers a howitzer. Blocker side. And the Generals take a 3-1 lead.
Well, the Generals are flying. What a shot off the stick of Dylan at Nowakowski. And we're just seeing the speed really take over. They create a turnover, get on that loose puck, and then walking into the puck at the blue line is Nowakowski. Coming down his strong side, he's a right-handed shot. And he has his head up the whole way. Boom, up over the blocker of York. And just like that, Dustin, 3-1 Generals.
2 goals in 2 minutes and 1 second. And all of a sudden, the Eagles in a little bit of trouble here. Norrish can't keep that in at the blue line, and it'll be blown back down. Lacombe Generals finding their legs and finding the back of the net twice to take a 3-1 lead here in the Allan Cup. Welcome back. A look back at the first intermission, and Kent, we've fallen in love with this promotion, haven't we?
2 minor hockey teams pushing chuck wagons around the ice. It's a race. They've got the barrels out there. They've got volunteers guiding them. And is that not Central Alberta or what?
It's a lot of work, I would think, for those little kids to do that, but keeps everybody highly entertained here in the intermission. They do in the first intermission and the second intermission. I look at the Eagles bench there. Among them on that Eagles bench is 3-time world chuckwagon champion Kurt Bensmiller, the rare 2-sport athlete at chuckwagons and hockey. He probably enjoyed that intermission more than most. His team now not enjoying what they're dealing with. They're down 3-1. And more pressure here. The Generals are feeling it right now. They know they could ice this one maybe away with another one. Now in the corner. This will be picked up by Vandermeer. Kelly, little deflection, that'll relieve some pressure. Todd grabs it and sends it right back in.
No, you're exactly right, Dustin. You just almost get the sense that the Lacombe Generals smell blood right now. They have a little opportunity during that break. I'm sure head coach Sean Robertson's message was do not take the pedal off the gas.
Nice play by Bates, hustling back there to break that play up. Hops back up from his knees and moves it up and down the ice. O'Malley could not control. Now O'Malley will get it, but it's poked away neatly. Curran almost overskated it. Gets it back. And now to be played up the right wing side for Stephen Fee. Fee has a man going to the net, tried to find him. And they'll draw a hooking penalty. And a good job there by Nolan Huysmans going to the net hard and putting his team on the power play.
Well, so much success comes from puck management, Dustin, and really Innisfail Eagles are having a tough time. They're overskating pucks, creating turnovers. This one resulted in a 2-on-1, and you can see Sean Bates gets the hook on the Lacombe Generals forward, going hard to the net. Pretty easy call for the referee there as the tug, just as Huysman tries to gather that puck.
Now moved ahead. This will be brought in over the blue line, shot high. Wyman able to knock it down. It'll be taken in behind the goal and brought back up the ice. Power play here for the Generals, 3rd of the game. Stroll will get the blue line and send it in. Down on the far boards, controlled now. Deckel take it at the point. Drops it back off far side for Norrish. Back up top, Stroll with a one-timer. Nice puck movement there on the power play. Deck moves down to keep it alive. Poked around the boards, an opportunity for Nichols to clear the zone, and that is exactly what he will do.
That was a real nice set play there. Kyle Stroh kicking out, backing up to the high slot there. Puck goes down and then right up to him for a one-timer. Goes over the net.
Now in behind the goal, that's knocked away. Hayes will move it ahead to Kelly. Back to the point here for Oberg. Less than a minute remaining in the power play. Oberg will fire. York the save. Robinson controls the rebound, and he'll flip it ahead. Kelly trying to go on a short-handed skate there, but is broken up, and Todd will control and bring it back the other way. Gets the blue line, drops it off to Ross. Barteau with a shot. Wide glove. Controlled on the far boards there. Dropping it off for Todd. High slot for Ross. Ross with a shot off the post. Comes back behind York and out the other side. Almost 4-1 for the Generals. Ross again with a shot. That hit a leg. Bounces down into the corner. Galbraith in behind the net. Moves it around to Barteau at the left point. Has it knocked away. Watch there by Dorowitz. Barteau puts on the brakes, and Eagles penalty kill coming up big here, Kent.
Are they ever? And under fire, definitely some terrific puck movement for the Generals. They hit a post, but most importantly, puck stayed out.
Bates with a shot deflected into the corner. Oberg comes up with it, took a bump from Bates. Bates falls. Tangled up with O'Malley, will backhand one in. Ross back on it here. Ross, the former U of S Husky, will knock it down into the corner. First on it back there is Kalen Walls. Walls moves it ahead. A nice look to Clay with some speed. Clay wheeling in here, trying to drive wide with a shot that kind of fluttered in there. And Wyman able to steer it in behind the goal. Clay still on the forecheck, and Generals will relieve this pressure and send one all the way down the ice. Feel like the penalty kill, even though it gave us some chances, may have got some momentum going here for the Eagles.
And it was a crucial penalty kill at that to keep the score 3-1. It was almost 4-1. How about the long shot from Oberg through traffic? The Yorks able to get a piece of it, and then a nice little pass from Todd out front to Ross. Catches that on his forehand. How about that catch and release? Goes far side, went actually off the post and then through the blue paint out the other way. Wonderful noise for Alan York, and we're still at 3-1.
Here's Clay trying to go for a skate again. This time he runs out of room in the corner, plays it in behind the net for Beachy. Tripped to the puck there neatly by Fee, moves it ahead to Korchinski, and Korchinski will drop it off for Huseman. Huseman in over the blue line, waits, sends a shot on goal, tried to look York off a little bit, but York was ready for it, steered it into the corner. 8.5 to play here in the second. A couple of goals from the Generals have them on top, 3-1. Robinson stripped to the puck by Todd. Todd just inside his own blue line, drops it off there to Cartier, sidesteps the man, Cartier with a shot, and that one up and out of play as the Generals with a 3-1 lead, not letting up, looking for some more here in the 2019 Allan Cup. 2019 Allan Cup from Lacombe, Alberta, where the Generals, the home team, the host, has the 3-1 lead on Innisfail, and Lacombe Generals. Look at the Generals organization here, Kent. Since 2010, absolutely brilliant.
Incredible. 3-time champions, 6-time runners-up. They've been to the finals 9 of the last 11 Allan Cups.
5 in a row, including this one. 2 is Bentley, 2 is Lacombe. 1 their last one is Bentley. Now dropped the last couple. Looking to change that here. And what better place to do it than in your hometown? Innisfail just down the road on the other side of Red Deer trying to change this. They jam away at the side of the goal. Wyman down. Cox was all over that thing. I mentioned it earlier. First time ever that 2 Albertan teams have met for an Allan Cup. So a little bit more special here tonight in Lacombe.
Well, it is, and certainly no love lost between these 2 clubs. This is the 12th time they've played each other this season. And we just got an example. Brennan Evans, the defenseman for Lacombe, boy, did he take Sean Bates, the Innisfail Eagle forward, hard into the boards. Bates had to go off for some attention.
Shot through, quick one. Lyman able to steer it in behind the goal. That's where the puck sits now. Stroh comes back to grab it. High off the glass, and that one does hit the netting just down below us. And that faceoff will come back inside Generals territory.
Well, Dustin, you really get the sense with 7:41 here in the second period that Innisfail needs to strike at least one time before the end of the period. You don't want to be going down 2 into the final frame.
Sense of urgency, feeling it a little bit here in this Innisfail game right now. We'll keep it in at the point. Hard shot coming, Lyman out. And he's able to blocker that one away, up and out of play. As Vandermeer looks on. Wyman got to play 1 game in the National Hockey League in place of an injured Jose Theodore in Colorado back in the day.
And he's got a career NHL goals against average of 0.
Yeah, he's perfect.
In 16 minutes of action, I think.
Not bad. Backed up Peter Budaj for 3 or 4 games, as well as now this one will be played all the way down the ice. Vandermeer on it there. Robinson will come back to grab it. He's been buzzing around a little bit in this game. Now flips it ahead, right wing side. Norrish along the boards, a couple of cracks at it there. Nichols was in his way. Norrish will get another one. Attempt at it, this time moves it ahead. Marshall, backhand pass, not a good one. That's gonna be broken up. Ross there, able to knock it away though. And it comes back out onto the stick of Norrish in the neutral zone. Far side pass, bounced a little bit, unable to control it there was Nowakowski. Now up through the middle. A little bit of room here for Simpson. Backhander, somewhat of a knuckler that Wyman was able to keep track of and smother in his crease.
Well, we actually haven't seen a whole lot of Riley Simpson so far, and he brings a little bit of energy out here. Gets a nice outlet feed, picks it up in stride in the neutral zone. Kind of a 2-on-4 there. So he just elects to shovel that puck with a backhand onto Wyman. Bobbles it a little bit. You can see Innisfail going hard to the net for a rebound, but that's one thing Lacombe does so well. Their back pressure is incredible, and their D, such a veteran D core there, very rarely out of place.
Off the draw, backhanded, out of harm's way. Vandermeer bobbled a little bit though, and O'Malley will come back to help him out. Finds Cox. Cox walking in. Cox with the shot. This time Wyman up to the task. Cox, the one Eagle to beat him point blank back in the first.
Well, that's the exact same way that Justin Cox scored the game winner in the semifinal last night. We've seen this play a few times from him already here in the final, coming down his off wing in full stride, trying to shoot off his back foot there. This time Tyler Wyman is able to gobble it up in the belly.
Okay, so face-off will come to his blocker side right here. Benz Miller out there to take the draw. Stats guy today described him as the Connor McDavid of chuckwagon racing, which is probably the truth with the way that he heads down to Stampede, World Championships. He does it all.
Yeah, I mean, is that not incredible? 3-time world champion in the chucks, and also playing hockey. He's a big body out there. Plays physical as well.
Yeah, 6'4", which I don't know if that's tall for a chuckwagon driver or not. You think you might not want to be that big. I don't know. I grew up on a farm. I should know more about chuckwagons, but I don't do a lot of it in BC. Colonel send this one in off the draw, comes all the way back around. Jesse on it there, moves it around. There's Benz Miller. Got a stick on it, knocked it back down into the corner. And now Korchinski will take it and skate it to the blue line, moves it ahead. Hushman's trying to cut wide on his backhand, drives towards the goal. York down, and Hushman's attempt along the ice stays out. Now in behind the net, they'll come back around to Hushman's again. Drops it off there for Fee. Fee tied up by Benz Miller. And now it'll be knocked around into the corner. Play with an opportunity to clear it up the boards, but some pressure taken away. Korchinski walking in with a shot. York down again. Bodies flailing around right in the crease. And eventually the Eagles get it out of harm's way. And Mulder will get it all the way down the ice. Now hammered around the boards by Evans. All the way up to the blue line there for Fee, who chips it in. Baylor will grab it and knock it up and out of play with 5:22 remaining in the second period. The Eagles, they need the next one now, trailing the Generals 3-1. There's a look at Alan York. He's been busy. Faced 26 shots so far in this game, and Kent, he looks exhausted.
Does he ever? He's got more than 25 minutes still to go here. He's been brilliant for Innisfail so far, but you kind of think, Dustin, that he's got to shut the door from here on out. That's going to be a tall task.
Got to be perfect the rest of the way, you would think, with his team down 3-1 right now. Todd on the draw. Beat York earlier in this period. Wins the draw cleanly. Brown will grab it, sends it towards the goal, and that one up and out of play. The face-off will come out of the zone as York sneaks in another drink.
Well, Alan York was a draft pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Played his college hockey at RPI. Actually played 11 games with those Blue Jackets. Dustin, a .920 save percentage during his time in the National Hockey League.
I mean, really good this season. Back then, maybe average, but .920 this season will do it. As a penalty called here, it's going to be Cody Cartier gets caught for a hook in the neutral zone against O'Malley, I believe. So a big opportunity here for the Eagles, who have the best power play in the tournament.
Well, right off the face-off, you can see the stick get in from Cody Cartier, eliminating his check there. And wow, with 5:12 left, opportunity doesn't get any brighter than it does right now for the Eagles.
Sent all the way down the ice. And that's where they'll have to start. Vandermeer moves it ahead. Pass on the left side, a good one to O'Malley. O'Malley chips it down low. Cox is on it there, wanted to bring it around, but that'll be broken up. Played all the way down the ice, and Eagles will have to start all over. Vandermeer. Up through the middle this time to Bates. Bates gets the blue line. Hayes sends it into the far corner. O'Malley picks it up there. Moves it around to Cox. Tried to find Bates. That was read well by Evans, though, and stepped in, and now they'll battle for it in behind the goal. O'Malley wanting to get it back to the point. Maybe another crack at it here. And Cox will eventually get it up to Vandermeer, who fires one. That hit a body, bounced into the near corner. Bates now plays it to O'Malley. Wants it back, gets it back. Bates sends it towards the goal. And that one deflected as he had Ty Clay driving hard off the bench, right towards that far post there. Pass maybe a little too hot to handle, Kent.
Yeah, I think it was just maybe about ankle height, and Bates tried a no-look pass there. He was actually looking back to his defenseman, and it was the Innisfail forward that was coming off the bench that he tried to look for back door. Puck deflected up and out, so now 55 seconds left in the Cartier penalty.
Beachy on the draw for the Eagles. Sits there on the dot, eventually comes back to Curran. Beachy gets it back to Curran, who flings it across. Left side there for Walls, back to Curran. Beachy, right wing wall, swings high. Now drops it off down low. Comes back to Curran. Shot through, deflected, rebound there. Clay with a shot, and that one wobbled a little bit, bounced into the corner. Curran, will he take it here? Oh, he bobbles it in it. Bounces out to the neutral zone. He definitely wants that one back. Bensmiller chips it in, but it'll be scooped up and played all the way down the ice by the Generals.
Just a little bit of indecision from the defenseman there, Alex Curran. He had terrific opportunity to shoot that puck earlier, held on to it.
Hayes drops it off. Maybe a shot coming here. Wyman's down. Took a quick glimpse in behind him from the shot off the stick of Kyle Dorowitz. But he had it, no problem, with just 4 seconds left in this Innisfail power play.
Well, this was the best chance. Colton Hayes, defenseman, finds Dorowitz. He's able to gather that bouncing puck, and with traffic in front, Tyler Wyman does a terrific job to hold on to that puck. No rebound to be had.
Into the corner, Kelly will tie up his man. Cartier out of the penalty box. We're back to even strength. 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes remaining here in the second. So the Generals penalty kill coming up big here in the late moments of period number 2.
Well, Dustin, we saw the Generals start to get a little bit of traffic, shoot pucks through screens on York. Well, that's what Innisfail has to start doing on that man there, Tyler Wyman. It's almost been a little bit too easy for him here in the second period. A few more shots, a few more traffic in front. Spray him with a little bit of snow, make him a little bit uncomfortable there. Try to inch your way back in this game.
Stroh waved out of the draw there. And it's won by the Eagles, knocked into the corner. Crack at it to clear the zone, and now they will. Stroh skating it ahead. Options to his left end, his right. Uses Nelson on the left side. Back to Stroh, who takes it down in the corner, plays it back to Deck at the point with a shot through York. Got enough of it. Didn't know where it went after it bounced off his pad. But it's into the corner. No problem there. Vandermeer hustling over onto this puck. Moves it ahead. Kelly now will get to center and just tried to send it in. It hit the linesman, and now it sits there right at the blue line and will eventually be blown down with just over 2.5 minutes remaining in the second.
Well, Lacombe just about went up 4-1 here. Allan York, the netminder, I don't think he saw this shot. It was off the stick of Nathan Deck. He jumps down from the point, fires this through, and it's not till it hits his left pad do you see him react there. So heads-up shot from the defenseman Deck, recognizing he's got some traffic in front, just puts a low one on net. And Allan York, strong, sound positionally there, as the netminder is just able to get it with his right pad and keep it out.
York out to play it here, moves it around, left wing boards, it's broken up. Vandermeer now in behind his own net. Baylor there to help him out. And it's moved out to the neutral zone. Nichols tied up there. Cartier takes the puck away. And now Cartier at center ice will backhand one down. Baylor goes back for it. Turns around, drops it off there to Robinson. Robinson flips it high. Marshall stopped there at center to glove it down, but it comes right back to Robinson now. He'll bring it in, cuts wide with a shot. Wyman there, rebound. A juicy one, but no Eagle could get a stick on it. It'll be brought back away by Todd. He drops it to Galbraith. Galbraith cuts to the middle. Had it knocked away. Bates back on it here for the Eagles, and he'll hammer it ahead. O'Malley, a bouncing puck. Couldn't get a stick on it, and that will go the distance for icing with 92 seconds remaining here in the period.
Well, it was a little bit of a malfunction at the junction at center ice. Two Generals, one Eagle, all come together at once. Looked like it was probably Dan Nichols from the Eagles got the worst of that, lost his bucket. But really no one worse for wear.
Face off, one neatly back to Norrish. Throws it over to Bartow, who moves it down low into the corner. Now it'll be scooped up, but Bates has a little bit of room to wheel here. That was broken up. Curran will get it out to center ice, no further. Sent back in, York out here. It's going to be pressured. Neat little backhand pass to Vandermeer. Now Vandermeer will skate it away. Vandermeer flips it ahead. Cox had to take it on his skate and couldn't control it. And it'll be broken up and played back out by the Generals. Walls now gets the blue line. Backhander comes right to Cox and he scores! Johnny on the spot! Puts it home, his second of the game! And late in the second, the Eagles get a goal that they so desperately needed.
So there is a little bit of life left in this Eagles club, and how fortunate is it this pass gets through. Walls jumps up, he tries a little spin-a-rama backhand. It actually goes right under the tape of Norris, the Generals' defenseman's stick, and it lands right onto Justin Cox, who has terrific presence of mind, and just one time that puck on his forehand. I think it caught Wyman a little off guard, and wow, that couldn't have come at a better time. Under a minute left, and it's a one-goal game.
That'll be played around. The Eagles trailing 3-2. With some momentum now, though. Curran's going to go for a skate. Gets the blue line, hesitates with a shot off of a skate. Bounces in behind the net. Curran scoops it up there, throws it across. Beachy settles it down, shot off of the shin pad. Beachy tripped down by Nelson. Trying to get to that puck, no call. Beachy a little slow to get up there, actually. Now they'll try to send it to Beachy, side of the goal, throws it out front. That was a dangerous look. But it's scooped up and brought away by Levi Nelson. 3 wide as they get the line. Throwing it across, tried to come back. It'll be grabbed by Clay, and they'll skate the other way with 15 seconds left here in the period. Clay onside will try a shot off of the leg of Kyle Stroh, and up and out of play.
I'll tell you what here, Dustin, this is setting up what's going to be a terrific third period. Innisfail bench revitalized with that late goal off the stick of Justin Cox. They're back in it. And with 11 seconds left here in the second, it's going to be quite a third.
Off the draw, this will be one. O'Malley drops it back. Shot off of a leg Comes to the near boards, will be brought ahead. 5 seconds left in the period. Given away, Billy Marshall can't control it, and that will do it for the opening 40. As Bates and Marshall getting into it a little bit there as the buzzer sounded. But the Innisfail Eagles get a much-needed goal, Kent, in the final minute of the period to make it a one-goal game heading to the third.
Well, we've seen the momentum swing a few times already here tonight, Dustin, and really Lacombe had much of the play through that second period, and just a broken play at the very tail end. Walls just throws a puck towards the net. It's able to find its way onto the stick of Justin Cox, and it goes behind Wyman. 3-2.
Solid the Generals, but the Eagles get a little bit of life right at the end of it. Third period of the Allan Cup coming up. 2019 Allan Cup continues, and it's Lacombe Generals with a 3-2 lead over the Innisfail Eagles. The Eagles getting a big goal late in the second to make it a one-goal game heading into the third. We're now joined by Chris Baylor of the Innisfail Eagles, and wow, what a big goal for you guys late. What's that do for your club heading into the third, Chris?
Yeah, no, that boosts our spirits big time. I mean, being down 2 there, we didn't play how we wanted, and that's huge for us.
It seemed after you guys fell behind there 3-1, was there more of a sense of urgency from your club? Did you get that? Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we're against the clock here. Down 2, it's a bit of a hill to climb against these guys, but yeah, we're just sticking to it.
These guys have been in this game 5 consecutive years. For you guys, it's your first trip to the Allan Cup final. How have you been handling it so far?
Yeah, you know what? We got a veteran group. A couple guys have been here before, so that's really helped. And yeah, we just kind of stay in the moment and play for today.
Chris, thanks for this and good luck in the third.
Thanks very much.
There's a look at the past champions here over the last 7 years, and the Stony Creek Generals are in the semifinal. They were eliminated by Innisfail last night, so Innisfail knocking off the defending champions. You see the Bentley Generals with a couple of wins there, but nothing for the Generals since they moved to Lacombe, and they'll be trying to change that here in the third. The Eagles, though, hanging in there, getting a goal late. They trail 3-2 after 40.
Every year, players compete for a chance to play at Canada's National Midget Championship, the TELUS Cup. As the biggest fans of Canada's biggest game, TELUS is helping the hockey stars of today and tomorrow. Visit hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
TELUS Cup on the way. Allan Cup about to be determined here in Lacombe as the Generals, the host, with a 3-2 lead right now over the Innisfail Eagles in Kent. It looked like the Generals might run away with it with the way that they came out of the gate there in period number 2.
Well, turnovers were the name of the game right at the Innisfail blue line here. Jesse Todd's able to jump on a loose puck, elects to shoot. I think the netminder, Allan York, thought that he was going to pass. You can see him with his head up there, fire it through a screen past Allan York. That made it 2-1. And then shortly thereafter, just a couple minutes, again, another turnover from the Innisfail Eagles right at their blue line. Dylan Nowakowski is able to pick that up in stride, and how about this shot? Coming down his strong side, head up, goes high blocker past Allan York. That made it 3-1 Generals. They were on a roll from there, but late life comes in the form of Justin Cox once again. He's able to pounce on that loose puck that somehow found its way through to his stick. And with under a minute left, Innisfail is able to draw 3-2. Justin Cox, second of the night, 4th in his last 3 games.
Tough break there for Josh Norris, or Chase Norris, as it bounced off his stick and gave the Eagles some life. Lacombe leading 3-2 after 40. A look back at the 2018 Allan Cup in Rosetown, Saskatchewan. It was a battle of the Generals as Stony Creek getting by Lacombe 7-4 in that game. Stony Creek eliminated in the semifinal by Innisfail this year. Lacombe back, looking to end a 2-year drought, which is a lot for the Generals over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and they're looking to do it right here at home in Lacombe as the Allan Cup 20 minutes away from being presented. And that big goal, 19:02, Justin Cox, second of the night, 4th of the tournament, a huge difference maker, Kent.
Well, is it ever, and that's going to set up a terrific third period. Jesse Todd made it 2-1. Early in the second, Dylan Nowakowski added to make it 3-1. And as you mentioned, with just 58 seconds left in the period, Justin Cox, second of the evening, gets past Tyler Wyman. And it's a one-goal game with 20 minutes to play for the Allan Cup.
Innisfail, Lacombe, rivals here in Alberta. And for the first time ever, two Albertan clubs battling for the Allan Cup. Chatting with Brian Sutter before the game, and you know how passionate he is about this senior AAA championship. He said it was even a little bit more special knowing that two teams from Alberta battling for the first time ever. We'll get our first whistle 17 seconds in to period number 3.
Well, you and I both enjoyed one of his comments when we asked him, you know, is it strange playing against a lot of your old players in Lacombe, of course, when he was there in Bentley, and he said, I played against my own brothers many, many times. My brothers now are in that dressing room. My brothers are wearing red jerseys. And we've seen that time and time again from Brian Sutter.
Been building this Innisfail program to the point where here they are for the first time in an Allan Cup final, and I would think much easier to continue to build the program by being in this game no matter which way it goes. Now played down low. This is Bates looking for an equalizer. He's got some time. That's rare. Tried to drop it back to the point as Hayes had moved down. Now Hayes has to hurry. Marshall thought about chasing after it, but thinks better of that. He'll head off. Hayes moves it ahead. Nichols couldn't control. It's down the ice. Jesse back on it there. Takes it in behind the goal. Round on the far side. Nice little stick lift there from Nelson. Following up the play, Jesse and the defenseman will bring it ahead. Ran out of room. Robinson comes over there. And Jesse from his knees will backhand it down the ice. Nowakowski in on it there, ties up his man. Stroh comes in to help him out. Robinson lurking there, the side of the goal. Stroh now has it knocked away by Robinson. Nice little play defensively there. Stroh now double team. Couldn't get it back to the point. 3-on-2 the other way. This is Mulder bringing it in. Cuts wide. He'll just fire. Wyman gets a pat on that, directs it in behind the net. And now Stroh will grab it for the Generals. Play it all the way down the ice. No icing here. And the Eagles will go back to grab it. Balls flips it ahead. Knocked down there by Bensmiller. And I'm going to say it was touched with the high stick as Beachy gets control of it. And we'll get a whistle with just under 2 minutes gone here in the third.
Well, Dustin, I think if you're Innisfail, you want to direct every chance you can onto the Generals net. Here's the hard shot that's turned aside from Wyman off the stick of Mulder. But we've seen through 20 minutes, Wyman can be beat. And if you're Innisfail, that's a good sign. You just got to keep directing pucks his way.
A little bit of a lucky break on their second goal, right? As the puck just bounced right to Cox, arguably their most dangerous player. And he was able to put it home. So we'll see if they get another bounce here. York, no problem there. Cartier from essentially the blue line fires that one in, no traffic, and York will hang on. York now 29 shots he's faced tonight, which is the same total he had in last night's game. So he's been much busier here than he was in that game against Stony Creek, which I thought was an excellent game from the Eagles last night.
It really was. That was game plan to perfection. That Stony Creek team is very, very skilled, and Innisfail was able to turn that aside. Skate away to the victory.
They were the defending champs, and they had not been beaten yet in this event before losing last night. Here's Todd now on the backhand. Trying to go short side there on York, but York denied him. Now Todd gets it again, throws it up. There's a huge save from York as Cartier with the one-timer steered away with the blocker, and then a block shot will knock it out. Barteau brings it right back in. Barteau hesitates, trying to shot over the blocker of York into the corner. Some pressure here from the Generals early in period number 3. Looking for an insurance marker as they have a 3-2 lead. Now Cox hesitates and plays it up and out of play, and that face-off will come inside the zone, and a nice start to the period here for the hometown Generals.
Well, Jesse Todd, such a big body. He's able to win the puck. Gets that out to the slot to Cartier. First shot comes through, and then it comes right back to Norch. And how about the block from Kyle Dorowitz there? And when you're 20 minutes away from a national championship, you got to put everything on the line. That's where Dorowitz does there, getting in the shooting lane.
Battle to the corner to the right of York. Picked up by Bates. Bates moves it ahead. Dropped it off there, but Cox overskated it. Bates brings it in, and he's offside. He'll get tangled up with the blue line. He has been quiet so far for a guy who comes in tied for the tournament scoring lead. The Generals have done a good job neutralizing him so far.
No, he really has, and we're going to see a lot of him in the third period, along with Brett O'Malley and Justin Cox. Of course, the goal scorer for Innisfail, Sean Bates, is the center of that line. But he's not found the score sheet yet.
Bates to take this draw for the Eagles, down by 1. And it'll roll down to the right of Wyman, who comes out, moves it around to Evans. Flips it ahead, long pass right side. Galbraith will skate onto this one. And a hip check there from Walls as he came over and got just enough of Galbraith to slow him down. Oh! And Galbraith comes back with a big hit of his own on Curran, obviously a little frustrated. And now Galbraith's gonna head right to the penalty box. And just like that, power play opportunity for the Eagles.
Well, Dustin, we talked early on how this Innisfail team can play physical. How about this hip check textbook from Walls on Galbraith? That is hip to hip, eliminating the man. And Galbraith not happy with that hit, so what does he do? Gets a little bit too excited, brings the elbow up to try to return the favor on Alex Curran. So physical play leads to a power play for Innisfail.
Boarding the call. Puck cleared down the ice. Vandermeer goes back to scoop it up here for the Eagles. Down by 1, man advantage here though. A chance to tie this thing up. Shot through Lyman. Hangs onto it with traffic a little late getting there, but they will get an offensive zone face-off and an opportunity to set up this power play.
Well, there's a look at Colton Hayes, defenseman for Innisfail. He had assist on the opening goal, and I don't mind this long shot here to get a whistle. Opportunity to win a face-off. Fortunately, can't do it. But
good pressure trying to get this puck away, though. Back to the point for Hayes. Hayes drops it back in behind the goal again. Clay overskated it. Jesse comes in there. Bends Miller as well. And a penalty trying to knock the puck loose. And we will play 4-on-4. Charging will be the call.
Yeah, this was not a great play from Tyler Beachy here. You've got the man advantage. You don't need to be going to play the body there. You got to be getting the puck. Your teammate Ty Clay is doing his job. He's battling. He's battling behind the net trying to get that puck. When you're on the power play, your job is to come in there and try to get it.
They say slide in here and just grab the puck right now.
Just go and get the puck. You don't need to come in there and move the body. And unfortunately, an undisciplined penalty negates the power play for Innisfail. Now it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for 1:24.
Big opportunity for the Eagles to tie the game, take it away. Sutter watching on, looking at his troops as they'll figure out who to put out here 4-on-4. Now around on the near side, Curran here. Bartow slides down. Curran will take it away. Now with a guy like Bates, might be some room for him to really wheel. One of the better skaters, they'll find him. Here's Bates, loose puck, bounced away from him, and Bartow cleared it away to Norrish. Norrish will go for a skate, brings it in, harassed from behind. Tried to cut to the middle. Walls closed on him quickly, now comes back to the point for Bartow. Drops it off far side. Throw with a shot. And York will hang on as Walls clears the crease in front of his netminder.
Well, 4-on-4 action opens things up. Lacombe with a good opportunity. And how about the poise from Chase Norris here? Gathers this puck up in his own zone. He's getting hounded by Bates. Doesn't throw the puck away. Feels pressure, still able to hold on to it the whole time. Eventually gets it to his teammate and then across for some open ice. So just love that patience from the Lacombe Generals defender.
4-on-4, face off to the right of York. We'll play 4-on-4 for another 45 seconds. Comes back to Oberg, right point. Drops it off to Evans. Evans pressured, had it knocked away, but Todd will scoop it up along the boards. Oberg moved down, couldn't control. Vandermeer will move it ahead, and Robinson will backhand it out. Hayes, the defenseman, trying to lead the way. He might be caught now, but the puck bounced on Nowakowski. And he'll settle things down. Watch there by Bates, who comes right back over the boards here after being on the ice just moments ago. Gives it to Kelly. Kelly shot wide. Comes back around to Hayes, who's going to step into one. And that one bounces up high, comes back down. Bates will grab it here, and he's hammered from behind. Doesn't go down. No call there, and he'll try to chase back in after the puck. Kelly had it in his skates, now moved ahead to Todd. Power play now for the Generals. Galbraith out of the box, drops it off to Todd in the corner. Todd watched by Vandermeer. Back up to the point, they'll walk the line here. Barteau loads up cannon, and York able to steer it into the corner. Kelly looks tired, stripped from behind. Nice play there by Huysmans. And that puck will end up underneath Hayes, and they'll get a whistle with 4 seconds remaining in the power play.
Well, a little bit fortunate here that Hayes was able to fall on that puck, because you nailed it, Dustin. Kelly for Innisfail was exhausted. He'd been out there during the 4-on-4. He had the puck on his stick earlier, was not able to clear it, and they could have been under the gun if not for the whistle.
Off the draw, this puck will trickle into York and kill off 2 of the 4 seconds that were remaining on this abbreviated power play for the Lacombe Generals. This time, the puck kicked up along the boards, one-handed towards the blue line, not out. Vandermeer, he's going to be pressured. Ross trying to get there for the Generals. Get some help. That'll be controlled. This one up high, comes down, and Robinson will grab it. He stood up there by Barteau, as Barteau at center ice puts Robinson down. Norrish skates it away around Mulder. Bensmiller there to pick it off as he comes over the boards. Walls back to grab it for the Eagles. He's going to skate it, trying to get to center. Had it bounce on him, and now it's going to be taken away. Stroh, a little bit of room to skate. He'll get the blue line onside. Some back pressure from Bensmiller. Stroh all the way around, drops it off, and the shot into the glove of York, as we'll also get a whistle with exactly 7 minutes gone in the third period. Generals leading 3-2. Allan Cup coverage continues here on the TSN as the Lacombe Generals look to join some elite companies. Since the year 2000, 5 organizations have hosted and won the Allan Cup, including the Real McCoys in 2014. It'd be nice for Lacombe to do this just a couple of years after moving from Bentley. Not that it was a difficult move, it's the equivalent of moving down the street or to a different room in the apartment, really. But for the Generals, it would be nice, after coming up short twice since moving to Lacombe, to host and get the job done. It'd be excellent for the community.
Well, isn't that the truth? And you look at this crowd here, standing room only. They've been treated to a wonderful game so far. They want to get off their seats again, cheer on the hoisting of the Allan Cup for their hometown team.
You see a jam-packed here house at the Sportsplex, but right next door at the curling rink, they've turned it into like a viewing area, so there's hundreds of people just basically through the wall from us here who are watching the game as well. So quick shout out to all of them who are over there. They're probably having a good time. We saw it before we moved over here for the broadcast, and it was already a lively place a couple hours before the game. Big collision there as O'Malley goes down, opens things up though, and a hard shot. Probably the best look of the game for Bates, and Wyman up to the task, takes it in the chest and hangs on.
You know, Dustin, when Innisfail plays physical, things happen. See a hit right at the blue line there. Bates is able to jump on that loose puck. He's kind of got a sharp angle, so he just tries to fire one high. Wyman's able to come out, close down the angle, take that off the chest and cover up. But it's that fine line for Innisfail between playing physical and discipline, but they've had success when they've been able to play the body and turn over some pucks from there.
Bates in on the draw here. They go up against Todd. Back to the point for Vandermeer. This is controlled, a little bit of room. Cox with a shot, looking for a hat trick. Comes back around to Hayes, keeps it in. Bates tried to glove it down. Todd will grab it and relieve the pressure. Knocks it out through the neutral zone. Hayes almost lost the handle on it. Now a long pass ahead. O'Malley couldn't come up with it. Jesse plays it back down. Less than 12 and a half to play here in the third. Generals still leading 3-2. Dustin Nielsen and Kent Simpson with you in Lacombe. Here's Vandermeer. Moves it up ahead to Clay. Drops it back to Hayes. Now O'Malley. Clay with some speed. He finds him. Clay gets the blue line. Cuts wide on his backhand. A shot through. Rebound right there in the crease. Bensmiller couldn't get a stick on it. Now Bensmiller hacking and whacking away. It's going to be taken away. Flipped high out to the neutral zone. Todd picks it up. Cuts wide. Here's Todd by himself. Sends one on goal. York the save. Rebound laying there, and it's chopped wide into the near corner. Beachy moves it around. Baylor flips it to the blue line, not out, kept in, thrown ahead, backhander coming. York's down, he doesn't have his stick. That one was high glove. Now with the pressure relieved, the netminder will take a couple steps to his left and pick up his stick. Bartow sends it down. Baylor on it there, hammers it around, deflected to the blue line, and out. Bartow again, as the Generals here just reload and come back in. Shot there, York. And good job here. Last couple of rushes up the ice, crashing the net by the Generals.
They are going hard to the net. Innisfail's having trouble even getting the puck out past the neutral zone. Terrific transition we see from the Generals, just turning it right back up ice. Continuing to put Innisfail Eagles back in their own zone.
Kelly took a bump from Bartow as he got that puck in deep. It'll be controlled in behind the net here by Oberg. Moves it ahead to Bartow. Bartow took a look up the middle of the ice, decides to just use the boards. Broken up. And now controlled by Oberg yet again. Redirected down the ice. Walls first on it. Gets it to Vandermeer. Vandermeer's going to be pressured here from behind, but moves it ahead to Nichols. Nichols now lugs it up through the neutral zone, tries a shot high, wide glove. Vandermeer waiting at center, will hammer it back in. Nichols, it's back on side. Swoop back in, now he'll head off on a change. Oberg patiently in behind his own net. We near the midway point of period number 3. And Huysmans will deflect it all the way down the ice. Comes to Cox. Cox tried to find Bates just off of his skate. And now Nelson gives it away.
Well, Dustin, you got to think that fatigue will have some sort of a role before this game is out. I mean, typically throughout the season, these teams play twice a weekend, and this is games 5 and 4 for Innisfail and Lacombe in the span of a week.
Heavy workload for sure. Rokowski walking in. Nice move. He actually had his man beat. Tried to go back around the outside. Play to the blue line now to the neutral zone. Stop there and flip back down. The Generals content with just getting this puck deep. York will move it around. Clay had to wait for it here. Never got to him in time. Now Beachy, far side, looking for Bensmiller. Couldn't control it. High off the glass and back out to the neutral zone. Glove down the ice by Brown. Baylor on it there for the Eagles. Swoops in behind his own net. Moves it ahead to Clay. He'll head off on a change. As Todd deflects his puck down the ice. Vandermeer on it there. Can be pressured from behind, needs to be careful, moves it ahead, finds Robinson. Robinson with a shot. Save made there by Wyman. Bobbled it a little bit, but good job by the Generals to come back, get that puck, and clear the zone up and out of play with 8:41 remaining here in the third. Hyman has the door closed for now. Generals lead 3-2. The 83rd edition of the Masters. It'll conclude tomorrow when the world's top golfers battle at Augusta for the coveted green jacket. Final round action beginning in the morning, 10 a.m. Pacific across the TSN network, presented by Mercedes-Benz. If my wife is watching, please take the kids out of the house tomorrow afternoon so I can enjoy the Masters. We've got 8:41 remaining here. Third period of the Allan Cup. And Innisfail put themselves in the spot here still, Kent, where one shot will change things. Galbraith with a shot. That hit a body right in front. Nichols in the corner.
And Dustin, don't you just get that that is a distinct possibility? All it takes is a little turnover and a quick break. And Innisfail has an opportunity.
Nichols tripped up in over the blue line. Whistle away for what now? No call there. Walls will grab it. Moves it over to Curran. Curran takes a look. Finds Walls. Walls will get the blue line. He's got an assist in this game. Tries to power his way in. Knocked down. In behind the goal. The Generals will grab it and move it around right side. Vandermeer keeps it in. Chip down low. Riley Simpson trying to come up with it there, but it's moved around, and Galbraith with an opportunity, and he'll clear it out to the neutral zone. Across to Hayes, who gets to center, wants to skate in with it. Now they'll tie things up in the corner. And eventually it comes to Bates along the board. Tried to center, it comes back to Vandermeer. Vandermeer hesitates, throws one across, far side, bounced over the stick of Bates. Back up to Hayes, he'll fire, and that one, ooh, that hurt. And it'll be sent down the ice. That hit Kyle Stroh, and he was slow to get up, but he'll remain out there. That was a high hard one.
That was a heavy shot off the stick of Colton Hayes. He's got a cannon of a slapper, and that one came up high on number 11 Stroh. He seems to be okay.
York out to play. This chips it high off the glass. Vandermeer there couldn't control. Cartier will grab it. Throws it in front, gets it back. Cartier with a little bit of room, takes it behind the goal. Tries to center it out front to Todd. York lost his stick again. That's 3 times in this game he's lost it. Here's Cox. He's got 2 goals, both of the goals for the Eagles. Moves it to Bensmiller, knocked away and played back down the ice. York out here and leaves it in behind the goal.
Vandermeer is absolutely exhausted for Innisfail right now. He has to get off, and eventually he will. They could not get the puck past the red line. He'd been out for a long, long time.
Beachy keeps us in at the blue line. They'll play it down low in behind the net. Clay comes over there, bounces past Bensmiller, back to the point to Curran. Curran, nice look, throws it across the walls, fires, comes back to Curran, he'll let one fly, hit a leg. Comes around the near boards. Walls will send another one towards the goal. They jam away. Beachy sends it towards the net. And Wyman steers it into the corner. And now a chance to relieve the pressure for Todd. Moves it ahead. Sidesteps one man, not a second. As Beachy got underneath him and knocked that puck into the corner with 5:50 remaining here in the third. Walls, far boards. Finds Nichols, who will get the center and chip it in. Simpson chasing it after there. Bartow takes him hard into the corner. Nichols comes over there, bumps his man as the Eagles playing a little more physical here in the third, trying to create a turnover. Now batted down the ice there by Fee. It'll be picked up, and Hayes, big fellow's gonna go for a skate, wheeling away, gets to center, cutting wide. Knocked down there as Bartow clipped him just enough. That'll get a round of applause from the crowd here. Korchinski with a shot off of the stick of Vandermeer all the way around. Excellent pace here now in the third period as Hayes watching on. Here comes Bates flying in, and he's knocked down. Hayes comes up with the puck, knocked down as well. And eventually it's going to be played ahead. An opportunity. Korchinski walking in, has a man, drops it back with a shot, hit a leg, bounces into the corner. Bates couldn't control the puck. Korchinski takes it away, drops it back with a shot, rebound there, comes right out, hammer towards the goal, and O'Malley got enough of that one to block it, and the Eagles can release some pressure.
What a job from the Eagles getting in front of pucks. You can just feel the urgency, the intensity ramp up here in the waning minutes. Bentley still pressing though.
Here's a steal, take it in behind the goal. Nowakowski has what would be the game winner at this point. Now he has the puck in the corner, broken stick lane there on the ice as well. They'll drop it down low. Now just inside the blue line, throw with a shot, and that's off of a leg into the corner. Towards the blue line, Beachy, can he get it out? This time he does, kind of just powers it out to the neutral zone. Stroll will take over. 4 minutes remaining here in the third. Generals leading 3-2 in an all-Alberta final at the Allan Cup. Robinson finds Curran with some speed, puts on the brakes, sends one towards the net. Nobody could get a stick on it. Comes all the way around. Simpson on it there. Into the corner. Nichols slides in. He's going to be pinned along the boards, and it eventually will come around left wing side. Curran keeps it in. Has some traffic in front, but had it knocked away by Cartier. Has to be careful here, does Curran. He'll get it to the blue line. Todd backhands it in. And he'll head off on a change. Pace slows, even if it's just for a moment. Vandermeer had that one stripped away. Here's Kyle Ross for the Generals. Takes it in behind the net, puts on the brakes. Finds a little bit of room. Throws it back up to Jesse at the point. Has some traffic in front. Drops it off, right side. Galbraith's shot. York is there. Rebound covered, smothered, and will get a whistle with 3 minutes remaining. Generals looking for an insurance marker. The Eagles trying to equalize. Another look at York, Alan York, who's had a heavy workload here. 39 shots he's faced so far. He only faced 50 in his first 2 starts combined here at the Allan Cup. So he's hanging on for dear life now. You can tell he's exhausted.
He is exhausted, but he's going to be called upon again because the Generals are not letting up with 3 minutes to go here.
Bartow cuts wide, takes it down into the corner, centers it, and that one all the way to the far boards. And eventually Walls will poke it out. They'll send it all the way back down the ice. York out here, wants to play it, moves it around near side. Beachy comes back for it, couldn't get it out though. And now Marshall into the corner for the Generals. Hidden there by Walls. Walls banging away at him. And eventually he'll come ahead to Cox. Cox finds Beachy. Beachy at center ice. Lost the handle on it. Marshall takes it away and plays it back to Bartow.
You know, this late in the game, just look at the commitment to defense from the Generals. All 5 guys forwards with back pressure. Innisfail really has no time to create a transition game through the neutral zone.
Wall sends it all the way down the ice. Oberg back on it there, will hammer it around. Took a bounce out to the neutral zone. Hayes will send it back in. Bartow settle things down. Less than 2 minutes to go. Bartow and the Generals leading by a goal. Nelson just outside the blue line, couldn't control it, comes back around. Bates couldn't pick it up onside. He'll drop it off now. Vandermeer hammers another one in. Cox will give chase. Bartow first on it for the Generals. Hammers it around again. That one almost too many men. It'll come back around to Vandermeer, who moves it ahead, and Dorowich will send it all the way down the ice. Cox out there looking for it, played high, past Vandermeer, and out to the neutral zone. Dorowitz there for the Eagles, flips it in. Robinson wants to give chase. Stroh first on it for the Generals, in behind the goal. They'll reverse it around. Vandermeer kept it in momentarily, but then it was chopped all the way down the ice by Cartier, and just enough for an icing with 70 seconds remaining here.
Well, that's exactly what Innisfail needed here. They got an icing call. It'll set up a face-off to the right of Tyler Wyman. The minute 10 left, that allows head coach Brian Sutter to call his timeout and give his guys just a little extra rest, because Lord knows they need it. And you can expect to see Sean Bates out there, 2 goal scorer. Justin Cox will be on the ice. Colton Hayes on the back end with that big shot as well, I'm sure, setting up their play for one last chance to even the score.
I don't think they mind Curran either. He moves the puck pretty well, skates the puck pretty well for a bigger guy.
He skates the puck really well. There's been 3 times he's bobbled the puck on his own blue line where the Innisfail Eagles have had control, and he's just kind of overhandled it. But he has been a guy that's been on the point each and every time, so I imagine that won't change now. Love the determined look on Brian Sutter's face there.
You think Brian Sutter wants to win? Barking out his instructions. York on the bench, the net is empty. Minute and 10 seconds remaining here in the 2019 Allan Cup in Lacombe. Hometown Generals with a 3-2 lead. Face off a big one, Bensmiller. Can't win it, but they do knock it into the corner, but it's going to be played all the way down the ice, and that one about 6 feet wide of the goal, and the icing will do it all over again.
Kurt Bensmiller's the guy with the task to win the face-off. for the Eagles. He's going up against Kyle Stroh, who's been so strong. And actually, Bensmiller is going to pass it on to Sean Bates this time around.
Bates will take it against Stroh. 3 Eagles to his right. Bates can't win it either. Big win there from Stroh. Hammered around. An opportunity here. Nelson pressured from behind. It would have been offside if they touch it. Bates will grab it off the boards. They'll knock it in. Bensmiller chips it deep. Final minute of play here in the Allan Cup. Lacombe grabs it to the blue line. Not out. Hayes kept it in. A second crack at it. This time picked off. Played up the far boards. An opportunity for Nelson to seal it. Hammers it wide. Another track for Cartier, and he scores! Cody Cartier finds the empty net. And the Generals take a 2-goal lead with 35 seconds remaining in the Allan Cup.
Well, when you pull your goalie, you just want that one chance, and Innisfail was oh so close. They had 3 players down deep. The puck couldn't get to them. Lacombe was able to clear the zone. The first shot attempted by Levi Nelson missed, but a heads-up play from Cody Cartier to take that puck off the carom, off the end board, and fire it in for a 2-goal cushion.
30 seconds left. They're going to be caught on an offside as Dorowitz couldn't get it in cleanly. Faceoff will come just outside the Generals' blue line. York wanders back over towards the bench, and that's where he'll be with 27.2 seconds left, and the Eagles needing a pair.
Well, you got to strike quick if you have any hope.
He's sent down the ice, takes a bounce high up over top of the net, grab there in the corner, played towards the blue line. Todd gets it out, Todd will skate it away. Here's Jesse Todd, he'll add to it. A little extra insurance. And that should do it. 5-2, the Generals putting the finishing touches on a Allan Cup title.
Well, give this Lacombe Generals team all the credit. They did not break at all, being pressured here on home ice as we see Jesse Todd seal the deal here. Innisfail pushed, but the Generals were certainly the class of the final here, and they're going to win the 2019 Allan Cup.
Todd deflects this one down the ice. It'll roll in on York, and he'll play it in behind the goal, and that will do it. It's a hometown title for the hosts. A 4th for the Generals, a 1st in Lacombe. In a battle of Alberta, the Lacombe Generals come out on top. 5-2 your final.
Isn't that a terrific sight? I mean, these are players that have played, well, the highest levels in hockey, in the National League, American League, college hockey, you name it. You can't tell me that this didn't mean a whole lot to this Lacombe team here on home ice. Absolute jubilation.
Special feeling for all of these guys having an opportunity to play here in front of a jammed packed house in Lacombe. Crowd obviously won't be going anywhere. Excellent effort from Innisfail to remain in this game, even though everything kind of piled up against them here, being dominated by Lacombe throughout the regular season. This celebration's different. I mean, these guys go to work on Monday. They get very little money to play here, but look how passionate they are about the senior AAA championship.
Well, this is not just Canadian at its finest. I mean, this is purely for the love of the game. You mentioned it. Guys are going to work. They're working all day, leaving their families on weekends to come play a couple of games. Lots of travel. And they really are a team.
Fell behind 1-0 early in this game, but fought their way back and took control of it really from the second period on. And for the first time since moving to Lacombe, the Generals our Allan Cup champions.
The 2019 Allan Cup from Lacombe, Alberta is brought to you by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 30 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey team. And by TELUS. Stand with TELUS to bring good sportsmanship online. Together, we can end bullying. The 2019 Allan Cup from Lacombe, Alberta is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud partners of Hockey Canada.
An excellent look at the celebration of the champions, the hosts, the Lacombe Generals, getting it done here against Innisfail. 5-2 your final, but they get it done in front of a crowd that took this team in 2 years ago. I guess 3 years ago now. This will be their third year as the Lacombe Generals, but took them in. The support has been amazing. The sponsorship has been amazing. And after being in Bentley for a long time and moving and relocating to Lacombe, to reward them with a championship in the year hosting the Allan Cup's got to be huge for these guys.
There's a lot of proud people in this town right now, and so there should be. And you mentioned earlier, no one's left. They all want to see the Allan Cup be presented, but a real proud moment for this team. As you mentioned, all the sponsors in this community that has rallied around this club, and here able to celebrate it all. Both teams lined up on their blue line awaiting announcements of the player of the game. We're going to hear the players of the game as well as the All-Stars in the tournament and, of course, the MVP of the tournament as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give both of these great teams a round of applause for their efforts today. And now for the awards. First, the player of the game from each team will receive a player of the game award from Derek DeCa of Bentley Agencies. First, for the Innisfail Eagles, number 1, Allan York.
Kind of an obvious one there. I thought he had a heavy workload tonight and really kept them in it right until the end.
Oh, he really did. I mean, he was their MVP throughout this whole week. Stood on his head in the semifinal to get them here. Well deserved for Allan York.
And for your Lacombe Generals, number 97, Jesse Todd.
Jesse Todd with a big goal early in the second period and then sealed it away at the end as well, and really was a driving force the entire game for the Generals.
He really was. A big body out there, just about 6'3", tough to handle, and scored a huge goal on that 2-on-1 in the second period. And as you mentioned,
here to present the Tournament
well.
All-Star Team Awards is Randy Henderson, from Director of Hockey Canada Board of Directors, and Michelle Skillennick, Manager of Member Services with Hockey Alberta. First of all, for forwards, from the Innisfail Eagles, Sean Bates.
Was a little quiet today, but had a sensational tournament.
7 points in his team's 5 games, and yeah, he was...
From Lacombe Generals, Jesse Todd.
We just saw Jesse Todd with the player of the game. Well-deserved All-Star for Jesse Todd.
We might see Jesse Todd again
From
the MVP
the
later.
Rosetown Red Wings, Jordy Johnson.
Jordy Johnson, who's not here, of the Rosetown Red Wings, was one of the leading scorers in the tournament as well.
For defensemen from the Lacombe Generals, Chase Norrish.
Norrish really impressed us today, Ken.
He really did. This is a dynamic defensive, very offensive-minded, jumps up into the play. Tough to handle every time he's on the ice.
From the Rosetown Red Wings, Jordan Francu.
Francu, we watched yesterday in the semifinal. He really controlled the game for the Red Wings, didn't he?
5 assists in 4 games for Francu.
I announced Francu, right? And for your goaltender from the Innisfail Eagles, Allan York.
Back to Allan York again, so he doesn't end up with an Allan Cup, but he was the top goaltender in Allan Cup West play this year. He's a player of the game for his team here, and all-star goaltender for the tournament as well.
And he's exhausted. He will sleep well tonight.
And now the winner of the Bill Saunders Memorial Trophy for the 2019 Allan Cup MVP. From the Innisfail Eagles, Sean Bates.
Sean Bates, the MVP of the Allan Cup in a losing effort here, was sensational throughout this tournament, especially when things got going tough for Innisfail and they lost their 2 round robin games. In the quarterfinals and semifinals, he really stepped up.
He had to step up big time there, was able to do that. You can see the look on his face. It's some solace winning the MVP without the Allan Cup championship to go along with it.
I think you have to give credit on the other side for the Generals because they did an excellent job shutting him down today to get their hands on what is about to be presented
Lacombe
here.
Generals have shown Lacombe and all of Canada who the best senior hockey team is in the nation for the 2019 season. Will the captain of the Lacombe Generals, Brennan Evans, please come to center ice to accept the Allan Cup.
The Lacombe Generals doing it at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Allan Cup champions, your Lacombe Generals!
They'll hand it off to Barteau, who is actually a co-MVP in the league this year with Sean Bates. So Barteau, 5 years with the Kootenay Ice, 5 years with the University of Alberta Golden Bears.
You just love to see the smiles on these faces. Just shows you how important, how much time, how much commitment these guys have to their team, to their community. There's Dylan Nowakowski with a beautiful shot. That slapper, top shelf in the second period.
Once again, I think we probably need to point out that this is a championship that's been going for 111 years. And you can see right now that it's still very meaningful to these senior AAA guys.
Donated by Sir Montague Allen of Ravenscray in Montreal in 1909 to the best amateur club in Canada.
Because they decided that only pros would be able to play for the Stanley Cup.
You're exactly right. There was a split in amateur hockey way back in 1909. Professionals were allowed to compete. They ultimately vied for the Stanley Cup, and that's when the Allan Cup came about.
There's Wyman. This is a guy who had a chance to play in the National Hockey League, spent a lot of time in the American Hockey League, and now there he is with an Allan Cup here in 2019. Kyle Ross taking it over.
Levi Nelson played professionally last year for the Sheffield Steelers in England. Now another championship here with Lacombe.
A lot of these guys, I mean, there's different ways that they've got to where they're playing right now. I mean, you've guys, Evans, for example, who took the Allan Cup at the beginning, over 700 games in the American Hockey League. For some of these guys, like, for example, for some of these guys, like Billy Marshall. Billy Marshall finished playing at Mount Royal College not that long ago, and it just started playing senior AAA. Surprised it actually took this long for Stroh to get his hands on it, because he was sensational. He could have been on the All-Star team, to be honest with you.
He was impressive tonight. Took that scary shot high late in the third period. Good to see that he is A-okay.
There's Billy Marshall. Chase Norrish scored the tying goal after they fell behind 1-0. Takes a skate with the Allan Cup. Cartier, an empty netter, the first of 2 empty netters to seal it away.
That doesn't get old, eh? Does not matter what trophy it is you hoist.
3 Mount Royal Cougars, they all played at Mount Royal together. They just handed the trophy off to each other. And for those guys at Mount Royal, when you play youth sports with the Huskies and the Golden Bears, it's not easy to have a lot of success. So for those guys to come here and win a title like the Allan Cup, I think it probably means a lot for teammates who've played together in other places. Nathan Deck gets his turn with it as well. And we didn't talk about him a ton today, but the blue line for the Generals really, I think, makes the game a lot easier for everybody out on the ice.
Now, definitely the difference maker. Oberg, Evans, Norrish, some quality defenders there.
Allan Cup championship handed out here in Lacombe tonight. Tomorrow morning, it'll be a Women's World Championship that will be decided as the United States taking on Finland after a big upset today in the semis, and we'll have that one for you right here on TSN as it was a battle in Alberta for the first time in the history of 111 years of Allan Cup. And in the end, once again, it was the Lacombe Generals getting the job done, knocking off the Innisfail Eagles for yet another Allan Cup championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, your